Good evening, everyone. Hello, likes to play. What is good? Hello, Red Fox. Dobro večer, Salzar. Hello, Aaron. How you doing? Biker! Big up to the 3 viewers in the chat right now. What up, Dino? Mighty Beard. Hello, Dino. How you doing? Hey, and Dinosaurus is here as well. What is good? The Dino gang is complete. What's up, guys? Hey, Sticko! Hello, hello, hello. What up, Ruby? Hello, Chinchilla. Yo, Aaron! Thank you so much for the gifted sub to Likes to Play Catch. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we can start a hype train. We're 20 subs away from the goal. 12 followers. We'll see what we get today. What up, Zim on YouTube? You love the thumbnail? Yeah. This is what we're gonna talk about, guys. This is what we're gonna talk about. They have announced some very, 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 very big things regarding PvP for the upcoming year, which is... How do I put this? Dangerous, exciting, depressing, sad, hopeful, and desperate, all at the same time. It's all about which angle, which direction, which follow-up changes, and what else they're gonna do to the game. And if we get some more people in, we're gonna talk about it, because I know some of y'all definitely have a strong opinion about things. Thank you so much, Aaron. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I purposely locked my WoW character because I might be playing WoW next year. Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I was actually really fucking depressed when I was reading it initially. I had an extensive talk with Decimus for the past 3 hours. I've been in his chat heavily discussing what's going on, and it did calm me a little bit down. I do think most of us are focusing on the wrong thing here, because I'm not talking about myself. Like, I'm fine with the upcoming changes. I probably will be fine regardless. Because the issues for me are longer lingering and are different aspects about the game as well. This could potentially be really bad for the game. But having said that, it could also be something really good for the game. And that is all going to depend on ZeniMax Online Studios, their intentions. If their intentions are sincere, which for now I'm doubtful if they are, but if they are sincere, then it could be something really good for the game. So that is the stuff we have to deal with right now. Yeah, I'm waiting a little bit more, Dinosaurus. If you can wait like a little bit more till we have some more people, because I don't wanna repeat myself too much. So I kind of want to make like one big segment with most of you guys listening, and then I kind of want to also move on from it. And then obviously when people will come in later and ask me about it, I will still engage the conversation, but I also don't want to spend too much energy on it, because what I actually want to spend a lot of energy on this week, in a very selfish way, is making sure we get an amazing fucking tournament this Sunday. Because that's what I'm still really, really, really excited about. Went all in on it. Yeah, they saw my short. They saw my short. They were like, no, they saw my answer at the Bethesda interview where I said I think vengeance is a bad idea. They saw that and they were like, hey, fuck this guy. Have to practice more with dueling? Yeah, you should. You should. I mean, I thought, Red Fox, I thought you were gonna get under the private personal training from Koktra and Meester. That's what I thought. I thought they were gonna train you. You know, like montage music. Din, 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 din. And then you see like a slow-mo Red Fox montage of her running up and down the stairs on Vivek City. Rising up. I can have Skittles. Ooh, I haven't had Skittles in a long time. I like Skittles. Good luck gonna give away. Nice, I died. That didn't work? Okay. Well, maybe. Maybe. There are some other people who could help you with dueling. I would even willing to help you with dueling. Not today, probably. Because I'm talking... I think I'm gonna have a huge chunk when we're gonna talk about the upcoming changes. But somewhere this week I'm happy to do... we could do a little segment. Training Red Fox. Everyone go follow Red Fox, go follow Biker. Shooting accident. Good luck on the giveaway. We're 11 followers away, guys. 20 subs. Let's go. That's not helpful, likes. That's not helpful. That is exactly what Vengeance is doing to people. And what Overland is doing to PvEers. Builds confidence. Dinosaurus, good looking giveaway. Okay, we starting to have people in. First and foremost. I'm gonna upload my build for the judges to judge. Yup. Try soon. Oh, Oh, you got your cloud rest, right? Your first cloud rest on EU. Mm-hmm. And also, before I do anything, let me sort out the winners from yesterday. Let's first do that. So, Aaron won 1 million gold. And that is Aaron. Aaron. Congratulations. Then we had Papa Cannoli winning 100,000 gold. Congratulations. And then we had Delta winning the 1.5k crowns. But Delta hasn't answered yet. But sure he will show up at a certain... Oh wait, it's his birthday today. He's probably busy. He's getting, going out for dinner and stuff, right? Yo, Kokcha! How you doing? Kokcha! Show Beard a report? Watch the fault. Haven't you seen the fault, Kokcha? I thought you would watch me. Man. I thought, oh man. Oh man. Can someone link the Bethesda NL fault? Ending me. Oh no. Oh no. And everyone go follow Cocktry, guys. Before I do... Yeah, thank you, Dinosaurus. Is that is the right one? Yeah, it is. Oh, you even timed it. Nice. GG's, Dinosaurus. Thank you. Yo, Yuzok! I was about to DM you today. What a coincidence. I was about to DM you today. Because I was under the impression that you obviously wanted to join the RP dueling tournament, but I haven't seen you in ages. So how are you? How are you, Yuzak? And thank you so much for the 9-month resub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think this is it. And then we have to type. So, exclamation mark tournament. Exclamation mark tournament. And this is who we have so far. And I did add you to the list because I figured Yusok doesn't want to miss this. Just find you today. Stream seems chill as fuck. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We might get a little bit more intense later on when we start talking about the future of ESO PvP. But I tend to be pretty chill, yeah. I'm glad you're enjoying it here. I'm still freaking poor. Good luck to Dutch Chef. Yo, what up, Chris? Good luck on a giveaway. Cocktry, good luck on a giveaway. So yeah, a lot of big things happening for everyone that missed it. I was on the Bethesda live stream, the Bethesda Netherlands live stream, yesterday, which you can watch the fault of if you guys want to see my face. No, I thought it was a very cool conversation. Yeah, Aaron with the gifted sub to Cocktrap. We have a hype train. Let's go. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think we are now 19 or 18 subs away. So Yusok, do you want to participate on the dueling tournament this Sunday? I have some issues. Aaron 2 guild imploded while I was doing some things and I'm dealing with the whole mess. Oof. Damn, so you were busy, busy, busy. Hopefully, is it like resolved or is it like over? Thank you so much, guys. We're in the middle of a hype train. Oh my god. Too many impulses. So first and foremost, would you be interested in joining the RP tournament, Yuzak? It's gonna be RP PvP fantasy character. As you can see so far, we have the Knight of Carcada, we have Sean Bean, I'm gonna be Illidan Stormrage, Dracula, Wonder Woman, Palpatine, Levi, Sung Yinwoo, Carl Franz, Corvo Atano, the Hulk, Anakin Skywalker, Shrek, Matrim, Barbas, the High Priest, Milena, a Blood Elf, Edidin, Gerald, Vivek, the Night King, the Avatar of Korn, Zeus, and Zuko from Avatar. That is what is confirmed right now. So if you would want to join, please let me know. And if you know which fantasy character you want to join with, let me know as well. And check out the Discord for all the rules and everything. Thank you guys so much. Yo, what up, Gifted? We have 3 minutes left on the hype train, guys. Join the hype train. We need 2 more subs to go to level 2. We need 18 more subs to reach a goal in an extra giveaway. Let's go, guys. Yo, what up, Papa Cannoli? I just sent you the gold. Good luck on the giveaway. Camille IRL. Aw, thank you, Taran. I appreciate that. Okay. So I want to submit my own build. Illidan Storm Rage. Bigger Essence Thief. What's the Arcanist buff again? Recuperative. What the hell? I don't know how to spell that. Recuperative. Is that well? We have 1.5 minutes left on the hype train, guys. I like how so many characters are from Avatar. Ooh. Can you give me 50% sub revenue? Wait, what? Why? Are his use of spell magic um wait, I'll type on the second screen for a second. This is gonna get too confusing. Then we have blood craze, blood contingency, blood contingency, whirlwind are his use of his glaives and blood magic. Wait, hang on. Our use of his glaives. Use. Wait. What's it? Lotus fan. Lotus fan. Do you have anything else? Quick cloak. Lotus fan. Quick cloak. Or his use of his glaives and shadow magic. Then we have Mar Solok is his use of organizing flames. Leap and dragon fire skill. Leap. Dragon fire skill. And how do you LOTR armor. Are his use of demonic powers, wings and horns, spikes. Then we have gloom graced. Is that what the whole set is called? Yeah. Oh, Grace of Gloom. Grace of Gloom and Vampire Old are his use of turn metamorphosis? The fuck do you type that word? That's how you type that word. I'm so fucking dyslexic. Here's a metamorphosis into his demon form. Lotus fan leap also function as the typical demon hunter fight style, which is extremely mobile and fast. Do I have everything? Yeah, we talked about Essence Thief. We talked about every single skill. Dun, 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 I think I have it. Alright. Thank you. Seems like Robot is in overdrive. No, it's because you guys don't talk. It exposes how quiet the chat is. And the timers line up sometimes. Sometimes the timers line up. And then they wait for 2 new messages. And then they go, it's calm before the storm. Yeah. If you guys just keep on talking, then Nightbot will do his natural thing. Alright. Shall we get into it? Like, I'm not sure how ready we are for the conversation. Let me scroll up. Did I miss anything? So yeah, Yuzok, do you want to join the tournament? And if so, do you know as who? And Aaron, did you already make a decision on who you're gonna RPS? And Koktra, did you? I knew Didem is probably gonna be Captain America. Would like to take my time. Yes, I understand, but it's also 1 week left, so don't take too long. Dr. K's TED Talk about the state of PvP and what comes next. Yeah. We're gonna need paint. We're gonna need a healthy mind of open-mindedness. We need a way of patience, empathy, understanding, and searching for what is at the core of what's happening. That's what we're gonna need. There's ample, always popcorn. Always popcorn. I just feel. Oh, we were talking about it. Dun, dun. Yeah, that is one part. And by the way, hilarious fucking meme. Yeah, let's not jump ahead yet. And hello, Lito. Ooh. Okay. To meeting soon. Yo. All right. I shouted in Pure's ears. Yeah. I think it would be cool if Pure and Victor and everyone would like to join this conversation, but if they're gaming, I understand. But I would love to hear some opinions about it. So let's get into it. Let's get into the sauce. Let's get into the sauce. Can you guys read? I obviously will be reading with you guys. Can you guys read, or do I need to make it bigger? Still big enough, right? Let's get into it. So Vengeance is looking like the PvP of the future. Okay. Yo, what up, Easy? I'm gonna read. I'm gonna stop in between to see if you guys have any comments about it. I'm gonna try to read everything, but I also really want to be clear and punctual about what I have to say myself. I might gonna use Paint for the obvious reasons. So let's do it like this. This way the text should scroll between my overlays. Can you guys read? Can you guys read? I know Victor can't. A medium size would be really cool if they put set zone in that. The middle of Cyrodiil, make it based the fucking Imperial City. Yeah. Though they are saying it's gonna be like siege based and whatnot. But on the other hand, I don't see why there couldn't be siege based combat in Imperial City itself. But yeah. Let's get into it. You put the punk and punctual. Alright, here we go. With the next Vengeance test coming up in December, we wanted to give everyone an update on the Vengeance testing and where we're headed with Cyrodiil. We recognize that you all have questions about the next step, what these tests mean for the future of Cyrodiil, and we're here to answer some of those questions. We also want to give you much context and info as possible in the name of transparency. Can I just get a... I don't know how, but can we get a small W for that statement? A tiny, tiny W for them. They are clearly admitting that transparency hasn't been their thing, and they're kind of changing their way in communication. So tiny, tiny W in that regard. Tiny, tiny W. The goals. Here is where it immediately gets tricky again. To recap where we started, where we've been with the Vengeance test earlier this year, we set out to try some new things with Cyrodiil to address the following specific goals. This is what's interesting, because the originally communicated goals are slightly different from what they're going to tell here. But let's continue. Significantly increase the player cap in a Cyrodiil campaign so that the campaign feels lively, full, and there's a lot of action to enjoy. Fair enough. Cyrodiil was originally designed 900 total concurrent players, 300 per alliance. We've not been able to support those target numbers in the current non-Vengeance Cyrodiil campaigns. We are able to hit 900 total concurrent players with the Vengeance rule set. Okay, so they've achieved their first goal. Nice. Chinchilla found it. So they have reached their first goal, right? That was the first test, which I think most of us could see ourselves behind. Right? So I think that's why I said small W, because they say that they're gonna do transparency, but they're immediately gonna move towards not being fully transparent. But here we go. So okay, fair enough. I think most of us agreed with that first initial test to see like, okay, how far can we push the servers? And how can we do that? We can do that by stripping away as much calculations as we can. And then we're gonna just unload everyone into Cyrodiil. We're gonna absolutely stress test it. And then we're gonna see how far we can go. That's fair, right? That's okay. I'm all for it. That was like the initial test. Let's go. Then, reduce frustrating latency and related game performances issues Cyrodiil, especially during large sustained battles, and in turn increase the fun and enjoyment. Fair enough. Okay. Through testing, Determine if overall ability complexity is the main cause of service issue, game performance issues, especially during mass battles and high population campaigns. We did test other potential causes of server stress and game issues during the vengeance set, such as item set, procs, consumable items. Well, you didn't. This is the issue. This is the issue. They didn't. So the first lack of transparency is here. They didn't. They did not test item sets, procs, consumable items, siege weapons. They did not. Because we still haven't seen all of that. So they literally did not. All they have tested so far are the 3 first tests. So all the conclusions that they're making right now is based on the first 3 sets, which in my opinion is not a completed test. And especially not this. Right? Because if you strip away everything and then only add a couple of percentages, then you still haven't hit those pain points. Remember how they communicated that they're gonna add things and see where the pain points are? We are not at that point whatsoever. By removing the variable, not by testing with... Exactly. So you don't have a difference. You don't have a point of like, hey, if the healing cap is 20 people instead of 3 people, it starts draining the performance. We haven't seen that direct difference because all we've seen is the stripped PvP and the full loaded PvP, which we have in Greyhost. So it's not a proper test, I would say. I don't think any scientist will agree that this is a proper way of testing. Right? So that is one. Oh, so I have already a little bit of issues with it, but fair enough, right? Test summaries. Since March, we've held 3 vengeance tests. The next will begin on December 3. For the first test, we introduced vengeance, rule set including normalized character stats, attributes, consumables, vengeance specific weapons for all classic. We also disabled things like the champion system, all quest items says access to bank vendor. Okay, pivotal, giving us a starting point. So this is fair. To reduce things on the most basic level, we could evaluate the findings and begin adding things back in. Fair enough. At the end of this test, we saw the most players ever in Cyrodiil at a time, single committed the largest sustained battle we've ever had in Cyrodiil. Fine. And the best overall game performance we've ever been in Cyrodiil. Makes sense. By all accounts, we were on the right track based on our goals. Is this a conclusion you can make? Well, technically you can. Yeah. Okay. It was the perfect base to work from. As a PhD physician, I agree if that matters. Of course it matters. Of course it matters. Like I think everyone who's ever done some, even if you had like a very silly biology or chemistry test in high school, you probably would know that this is not a proper way of testing. I thought they slowly added things, strip zero, to reach the point where it gets unplayable, like exactly, Chinchilla, and that is number one of where my issue is a little bit right now. So yes, I applaud them being transparent in what their goals are, yet it feels a bit contradicting to what we have been previously been communicated. And yes, everyone go follow Shook. So, okay, here we were. So they okay, the first test, fair enough. Server result. See, this is where my number one issue begins. We're also positive. What was positive about the survey? Because the survey should have been about performances compared to the second ones, with many participants saying they enjoyed the higher population, improved game performance, lower latency. I don't know what the overall experience means. The Aligned Golden Pursuit was also noted as a positive. Of course, people want shit. Wow. Big surprise. People want shit. The loss of unique class, character builds, and customization was the biggest negative point. Fair enough. So this is pretty fair. Not entirely fair, but this is pretty fair. We don't know what stats they have to compare it against. Well, if you have a test, right? Like if you have a product with ingredients and the end product is making people ill, and then you remove all the ingredients from the product, you add water, and you sell it as, hey, this product isn't making people sick anymore. That is not a proper way of testing. You have to add the actual ingredients that you've been working with to see at what point people start getting ill. At what combinations. Maybe there's a chemical reaction between two ingredients. That's how you test the thing. You can't just add water and then add 2-3 ingredients and leave all the 100 ingredients out of it and say that that's a test. That's only the beginning of it. And I got more into later, because they are coming to conclusions. Right? That's my issue. I don't mind the steps of the testing. I have a problem with them coming to conclusions. So we'll get into that a little bit later. So, this is relatively a fair point. Okay, for the second test, we welcomed live console, EU and NA server communities. The Vengeance rules was largely the same as the first test, with the addition of Vengeance versions of skills from all weapon skills in the assault. The specific goal of this test was to build upon the baseline. See, this is all fair. Slowly begin introducing more skill line and abilities, evaluate the results. At the end of the test, we saw similar results with better game performance, lower latency, larger sustained battle possible than in other serial campaigns. Fair enough, right? This is expected because they didn't add much. This test overlapped with the seal of Senator Everton, which we recognize not everyone enjoyed. Yeah, that was not smart. Survey results for the test were similar in sentiment, leaning positive. Over 80% rated the added skill lines favorably okay, good, or great. Sharing appreciation for the variety and balance. This is absolutely, I'm gonna say, this is absolutely fucking donkey shit to me. This is absolute bullshit. How can you talk about balance? We're playing a naked, stripped down game. Like, let's not judge balance. That's ridiculous. Absolutely stupid to me. But fair enough. This is what I'm going to talk about later. People's feedback. What does feedback even mean in 2025? Okay, we're going to continue. Which also noting that there's room to improve. That is super... This is way too positive of what people actually thought. This is way too positive of what people were actually thinking. This is ridiculous. That's why I don't really believe in surveys and feedback in this day and age anymore, because it's people don't even know what they want themselves. But we'll get into that a little bit further. For the third test, we layered upon, we introduced the two previous tests by adding meatbag catapults, as well as performance-stated skill lines. Fighter mages plus an armor skill line with active abilities for light, medium. So again, still no passive, still no sets, still no morphs, still no like cap changes in healing or AoE damage. So still very naked PvP. We also introduce a certain progression in cosmetic systems into Vengeance, including sky shards, mount selection, titles, and achievement. Okay, so this is fair, right? They're adding some kind of things in the coding where people can pick their title, their mounts, because it's obviously has to do some calculation here. So fair enough. They're adding little things. They're adding little things. Something starting December. Yeah, those are like, yeah, exactly. So they haven't added it yet. Similar to the second test, our goal was to introduce more things that the player enjoy and expect in the serial campaign and monitor the impact latency. We did not run a golden pursuit and saw disappointment about that. Yeah, fair enough. We also ran this test journey and Daunting celebration with some player understandably noted that higher interest in participating in versus this test. Even though population in Vengeance was lower this test, it still performed well and participants were still higher than the typical population caps in the Cyrodiil campaign. This is surprising to me. I assume they're not lying about it. On the other hand, typical population caps in normal Cyrodiil. What does that mean? This is I'm gonna be a bit snobby here. I'm gonna be a bit evil. I don't appreciate them holding the current state of PvP in 2025 with all the changes the game has had this year, where a lot of people were extremely unhappy with the current state of PvP as a good base to begin with. Because if you're gonna ask the PvPers right now and you're gonna ask them, are you happy with the current state of PvP? I don't think a lot of people are gonna say yes. So there's more at hand than to say the normal Cyrodiil campaign, and especially when they say cap. Right? Because the cap is part of the issue that people are not playing Greyhost. So this is a bigger layered comparison to make than they now give simply credit to. So they're now just gonna say Vengeance versus current Cyrodiil, population cap ends at number X, Vengeance population was number X, conclusion is anything. Right? So that's a bit disingenuous, but fair enough. This is surprisingly that they actually still had that many people in Cyrodiil, which shows how empty Cyrodiil in nowadays state is. Right? It brought PvEers in, did not bring lost PvPers back to play. Yeah, and a lot of those PvEers are not gonna long-term PvP because of Vengeance. That's something I want to get later into as well. Not gonna lie, can we finally get what every PvP will want for years? Bug fixes and open year stuff to make better updated version of IC. Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. Yo! Look who we have here. The interview person. What up, Gambolic? What's good, man? Welcome, 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 welcome. We are naturally talking about the huge upcoming news about the PvP changes. Yo, what up, Mithlin? What up, Boop? Hey, Red Fox. What is good? What is good? What is good? Thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? What were you guys up to? Had more at the current cap, which is already normal. Exactly, Snacks. It's if you point it like this, people are gonna take this out of context, and people are gonna say like, "See." People are gonna say like, "See, people like Vengeance," but you have to be really, really, really careful with this. You have to be really, really careful with this. That's why I'm slowly trying to dissect everything they're saying, and I'm gonna give commentary on everything that I'm reading. I have to show you something? Oh, wait, what? Wait, what? Show me. Is it a housing tour? Is it bad that I can already almost guess what's gonna happen? Yes, I knew it! I knew it! Yes, I knew you were gonna say that. That is awesome. Which house was it? Minas Morgul? I think I have visited that one. Hang on. We have a housing channel as well. Let me grab it. Was it from Seiya? Oh. Was it from Seiya? Yeah, we went to it. It was really cool. Really, 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 really cool. I went with my Witch King character. So if you ever, by the way, Gambolic, you are in my Discord. If you go to the housing channel, we have a list of Lord of the Rings houses. We found all the Lord of the Rings houses on EU. It's really, really, really cool. It's really, really, really cool. Look, Lurian, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the fellowship. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So it is, and if you have a character on NA, there are even a couple more. On NA, there are a couple more. Ministerial, Helm's Deep inspired, Barad-dûr. Mordor, I don't know if you've seen Mordor yet. This one is gonna blow your mind. And if you're more into the like deeper lore, so to say, Nargothrond is one of the prettiest houses I've ever visited. I'm a simple human. I Lord of the Rings I follow. Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, welcome everyone. My name is Kamul, and what I do is RP PvP, where I make my favorite Lord of the Rings characters. We're gonna continue the patch notes in a second, or patch notes, the forum post. Because what I do is I make thematic PvP builds. The build that I was currently on is a World of Warcraft build. That's because we are organizing a roleplay PvP tournament, which, look at this. Look at this, guys. Look at the names that are gonna show up. We have Zuko from Avatar, Zeus, Khorne from Warhammer, the Night King from Game of Thrones, Vivek from Elder Scrolls, Geralt and Eredin from The Witcher, a Blood Elf from World of Warcraft, Milena from Mortal Kombat. We're gonna have Indiana Jones, or a High Priest from Indiana Jones, Barnabas from The Elder Scrolls, Matrim from Wheel of Time, Shrek, Anakin Skywalker, the whole Corvo Artano, Carl Franz, Xingyan Wu, Levi from Attack on Titan, Captain America, Palpatine, Wonder Woman, Dracula, Illidan Stormrage, Sean Bean, the Holy Knight of Carcada, and Yuma. And there's going to be a lot more even. It's going to be really, really, really cool. And everyone, to show you guys, everyone has to send their build in the judge table. So we have a couple of judges. So you have to send your build. So if you want to come with some cheesy meta build, we're going to say like, nope. Back to the kitchen, go cook something that is actually roleplay friendly. So, as you can see, Anakin, Sith Walker, Carl Franz, Dracula. Look at this, the Night King from Game of Thrones. It's gonna be so freaking cool. We're gonna have all these amazing, amazing roleplay characters. Palpatine. It's gonna be so cool. This is my submission. Illidan from World of Warcraft. So yeah, go check that out, guys. That is this Sunday. It's gonna be really, really cool. So, as you can see, these are all my characters. They're all Lord of the Rings inspired. And they're all super thematic PvP builds. Right now, my core buck is temporarily Illidan. So, yeah, this is the guy you can see in the right bottom picture. Mr. Illidan Stormrage. He's like a super, super cool World of Warcraft character. And this is me, Manwë, and the Witch King. But I do want to get back into the forum post, because I think this is going to be very, very important to be genuine, open-minded, and honest about what they're communicating with us. So first and foremost, compliments to the transparency they are giving us, but they are being a bit disingenuous with certain information that they're giving us. Like, we were here, even though the population of Avengers was low during the test, it still performed well, and participant numbers were still higher than the typical population caps in normal Cyrodiil. I think that is a bit disingenuous, because the current population caps in the Cyrodiil campaign are just extremely low. No one is agreeing to that being a acceptable thing. And because the caps are so low, less people are playing. Because less people are enticed to go into a small version of what they once liked. So it's a bit of a disingenuous comparison, but fair enough. I actually did not know they had this number still. But again, is that a peak? Is that a consistent number? Is that is it a fair comparison? I'm not entirely sure. To be honest, all people I saw Twitch commenting on Vengeance said they didn't like him, but they were optimistic with the news. Yeah. And this is where we have to make the distinction easy, because that is exactly where I am leaning towards. Will pass as a healer in RP, or is it more like damage? Like for the flashlight. We're gonna well, if you're talking about the tournament, for the tournament we're gonna duel each other. So if you're gonna be a healer, that's not gonna really be beneficial for you winning the duel. If that's what you're asking. If you're asking in general, then any RP works if, in your opinion, you represent the character that you want to portray. You can go from every single angle that you like, because you're the one role playing. I mean, it might be. It might be what? Sorry, I got lost in the context. We did say winning the fight isn't required. No, that is fair. That is fair. But yeah, I wouldn't advise it. Maybe that's better wording. Yeah, if you really want to be a healer in a dueling tournament, you can, but you're probably gonna be a first round exit then, which is fair. But yeah, Reds is not wrong. I meant it more like an advice. Like, if you maybe want to have a chance, you obviously have to try to kill the other person as well. But yeah, whatever you want to do for the RP is absolutely 100% freedom. So make sure to check out the channel in the Discord if you're interested. And again, Gambolic, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you. So let's continue. Survey results for this test were more mixed than the results following the first two, and we saw less positivity overall. More survey participants noted fatigue with the test and a desire to unique builds and Cyrodiil, and frustration at the test when during an in-game event. Okay, so this is good. This is good. The fatigue with the test. So people were actually getting tired of the extremely stripped away version of PvP. That was already a change in feedback. So, fair enough. Glad that they acknowledged that at least, because that is, I think, inherently the truth. And this is something we get back in later as well, because you're going to have short term and long term, which are very distinct things, but in feedback, they are almost like the long term is almost always neglected. So we have to be really, really careful, because as you can see, the surveys were really, really positive. And then the third version, where pretty much the highest criticism of the first two tests were already like less, so you got more variety, more options, and yet the outcome is more negative. That is something to keep in mind for long-term development. Then, yo, Magenta! Hello. Throughout the first two tests, we learned with certainty that in order to deliver performance Cyrodiil to support a large PvP skill, the abilities, procs, passives, etc. must be lighter versions than the one exists in the rest of the game. Fair enough. I guess that makes sense. Right? I think everyone came to the conclusions that the calculations were just too big for the game, probably. To set off 4 graphs below illustrate the differences in populations as well as the server frames per second between the Vengeance Cyrodiil campaign and non-Vengeance Cyrodiil. On the left of each graph is the non-Vengeance campaign, and on the right is the Vengeance campaign. So, as you can see, when the population is high, you get very bad performance. Naturally, and the spikes are less significant. This is also, by the way, an interesting thing to stay. So this is just like an example. I think it's already... Yeah, alright, fair enough. Right, bunch of graphs, they clearly show you get very bad performance during certain hours. Makes sense. So Vengeance performs better. Big surprise. Not. Okay, next steps. Here's where it gets interesting. For the test in December, we will introduce Vengeance specific perks and loadout system for character class templates. These systems are designed to give you a bit more variety. Oh, I like that they use the word bit. A bit more variety over your build compared to what was available in the previous Vengeance test. Yes, specifically you will have more control over your stats with 4 pre-built stat packages, loadouts, and perks are passives that give extra combat effectiveness and bonuses to your character. The intent is to give characters a boost that is comparable to the single 5 items present like Juliana's. Fair enough. So a very light calculation. So see where they are, right? See where they are in the testing. So right now in the testing, they're ready to implement a very simple 5-piece set calculation. So we haven't even talked about all the different passives, percentage amplifiers, buffs, debuffs, all the crazy stuff that's going on. We haven't even touched that yet, so we're just going to go into this. And this is important to note. Why? Because they're already coming to conclusions, which in my opinion, in a test, you cannot come to that conclusion yet. Let's continue. We will also be adding a Vengeance specific inventory, which will store your Vengeance items. During this test, you will be able to collect regular items while in the Vengeance campaign. Okay, so they're gonna add like looting. These items will be placed into your regular inventory. Many systems that were previously turned off. Vengeance will also be including quests, vendors, leaderboards, scattershot, auto catapults will also join the available options. So more sieges, quest, vendors, so NPC interactions, the leaderboard calculation. So they're going to add more and more calculations. Fair enough. And keep recall stones and channel repair kits will be added. We'll share more detailed notes ahead of the December test. We'll monitor the impact of these additional systems on latency and game performance as we have during our prior test. Okay. Lastly, hang on. What does Aaron have to say? New World struggled partially because of the launch with too many servers, which split the player base and made the world feel empty. These are normally fights with the mega servers, but lately it feels like they're copying the New World approach for PvP. During mid-year, we have many more campaigns and the population was spread out, and most of them felt this. Yeah, the last 2 Mayhem events were by far the most empty events I've ever been a part of. They were pretty much like the main campaigns were filled, and like there was a AP train roaming around the new campaign, so to say. All this testing, yet not once have I seen the mention of their issue. This is very obvious if you go to the ESO logs for PV, for example. The fact that every debuff has several different iterations in their ID. Not a single source of minor vulnerability, for example, has the same skill ID. And a lot of them are old and navigated IDs, yet they likely to add the lag or bug when it becomes permanent status effect, for example. That makes a lot of sense. Again, I'm way too much of a noob on this subject, but that does make a lot of sense. I have no clue, but that does make a lot of sense. But the fact that they haven't even scratched that area yet, and they're already gonna come to conclusions, that's where my issue lays. So let's continue. Lastly, the Grey Host campaign, as it is now, will be up during the second half of the Vengeance, and we will monitor server performance for both campaigns. This comparison will allow us a more valuable side-by-side data. Nonsense, in my opinion, because we should not compare it to the current Cyrodiil. Because the current Cyrodiil is proven to be broken, not working. You already have the data side by side. Because you already have full capped data from you can argue, obviously there will be variables on the day and whatnot, so maybe it's not the worst idea, but they are probably going to use this to their benefit of showing, look, we really cannot fix Greyhouse, because look at these differences. But we'll see. This is me maybe being a bit pessimistic, but we will see. This will be our final adding new things test. See? Adding new things test before. That's where we compare the game performance of Vengeance, of what the component looks like with all the system turnouts. This is where my issue is. This is where my issue is. How can you, after this test, come to any conclusion? This is like, is there anyone working in any science field where they do like testing? Like, is any of your guys' job by any chance working with testing? No, I don't think everyone is going to be in Greyhouse. I do think people are going to go in Vengeance because people want to check out the new system. It's a thing. Like it's a bit. It's yeah. You have to realize, because you have to even go in a deeper layer. People that say they like Vengeance have to be really careful what they wish for. I'm an engineer, lol, it's painful to read their method. Oh no. Exactly, they currently have A skill, B result, C skill, D result, F result, etc. They need to recode A, B, C, D, E, G skill, all a single result and streamline performance. That makes a lot of sense. Again, I lack all knowledge in this regard, so I'm gonna trust you guys, but I have no clue. My guess is that they want to see how many people even go into Vengeance when Greyhouse is available. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Checking out the new system takes a day or two. PvP mains will go back to Greyhouse after that. Yeah, maybe, and some of them will maybe like it. Like, some PvPers do like it, but again, they have to be really careful how much they like it, because a lot of PvPers are unhappy with Greyhouse. And if the game is offering anything different than the current Greyhouse, they're gonna go into Vengeance. Oh, it's on Vaku. It's going crazy. Because this is not the craziest part, chat. This is not the craziest part. So I think this will be adding new things. So this is the final test where they're adding new things, which is ridiculous because they haven't even scraped what the live version is on about. Okay, let's continue. We have another test or two planned next year for the sake of evaluating healing versus damage concerns. We'll share more Okay, this is actually a very interesting test, but this is also something that is apart from the core issue of performance, right? These are balancing things, which I'm happy that they want to test this. I'm happy they want to evaluate damage versus healing, but this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. And now it gets insane. Are you ready? Are you ready? A change is needed. I'm not arguing that. I'm gonna say this one time and one time only, and if someone keeps gonna continue saying this, I'm gonna just say this. Please, chat, answer this question for me. I don't wanna argue the current state of PvP is the right one. I don't want to say that the current state of serial PvP is the one we should strive for. That is disingenuous. That is not how you make an argument. I'm gonna make an analogy. You're sitting on your chair. Someone is gonna hit you in the head with a baseball bat. After that, someone is gonna hit you in the head with something that is slightly softer. I'm not gonna sit here around and be like, well, at least it's not the baseball bat. No, I'm gonna sit here and say, I don't want to be hit in my fucking head. So the current state of PvP, I don't give a flying fuck about. That is not the standard what I'm wishing for. So if the solution is still painful, I'm gonna still call it out for being painful. That is the difference you have to realize in this argument. So yes, everyone in PvP wants change. Everyone in PvP wants something new, something fresh. Everyone in PvP wants PvP to work. You have to think about what solution are they offering. I am not the type of person that's just gonna settle for a solution for the sake of being a solution. That is not my mindset ever with anything in life. I'm gonna try to make the most out of it, the best out of it, and I think that's what we have to aim for. Right? So now I've said that, let's continue. What about using the combat PvP state we're using like Rally and Cry to balance the skills like performing in PvP and PvP? I think that is a very fair idea. I think in regards to PvE PvP balancing, but that's another layer. That's another layer. Right? That's another layer. I mean, DK, I'm enjoying being that. I don't know why Sus never tries to put on some checks excessive cross healing when they know the burns the server. Yeah. There's the option of tummy ache versus explosive diarrhea. Yeah, I rather have none of them. I'd rather just be comfortable. I said Vengeance wasn't gonna become permanent. I do remember that. And this is why I'm so worried. They are already giving up on adding new things, so the test is incomplete. I think scientifically this test won't hold up in any professional science field. I don't think any professional institution will look at this test and say like this is a complete test. The only way to provide PvP is someone encourage housing mains to go in. That's all left playing. Yeah, I want to get into that later. I think you're a bit like over the top in what you're saying, but I get what you're saying. You're saying there's not a huge PvP community left. We need to suck in more people into PvP. Again, I'm all for that. Right? I'm all for that. I'm gonna explain you why Vengeance is not the answer in a second, but first. So where does this put us? And where we as a dev team realistically think we're headed for the future, with the caveat that December test still needs to happen. See, so the test still needs to happen, but they're already coming to 2 scenarios, which is fucking crazy to me. This is absolutely wild. So they base this on their conclusion of what exactly? We have tested a naked version of the game, and we came to the conclusion that the naked version of the game is not lagging, versus a complete shitshow of a game which is lagging. They're pretending there is nothing in between. As they state, they're not gonna test new things. Right. So there's scenario 1. We will open a Vengeance Cyrodiil campaign sometime next year with a special rule set based on the previous upcoming tests and leave Greyhouse open as it is now. Is this scenario good? No. But it is the better one of the two. I'm gonna explain you why this is not good in a second. Scenario 2. This is what's crazy. That this is actually something they're considering. This is, to me, it's wild. But again, maybe in the long-term vision, it does make sense if they're gonna hold up to a promise of what we're gonna talk about in a second. Vengeance and Greyhouse both existing at the same time as the only two campaigns should work out. Vengeance is definitely a better idea for casual new player. Great. I have to say some. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say it about. I'm gonna say this now. No one actually likes Vengeance. What they actually like is being part of a big team, actually doing things. They enjoy light skill battles. Remember my Vengeance post? That is exactly what I was saying. You can really do that now with Bogus population being slow. Exactly. So this is where we have to be careful. I literally do we have the post still? We do. This is literally what I've been stating. Pop. What does this mean? This means that a significant part of just want to be a part of a big battle and have a feeling being able to be successful doing that. The result is short-term fun, which is what we see expressed by the massive amount of positive around Vengeance feedback. Alright. So, yeah. I think that is... You're 100% right about that, Victor. That is exactly what a lot of people want to be a part of. Because there's so many people, it's similar to what the old PvP was like. But the old ESO PvP is something I don't think makes sense right now. Then you would have to do that game-wide in every regard. Then you just have to go back to... Like, you cannot single that out for PvP, in my opinion. But yeah. So... Why I am against Vengeance as a whole, especially if they're already admitting that they're not gonna add a lot of new things. Right? So it's gonna be a very stripped down template version of the game. Yeah? Why do I think that is a bad option? Why? Because yes, it is new player friendly. It is casual player friendly. It is all of that, right? But it is not an accurate way of showing what the game is about. It is very similar of playing Overland PvE. So hear me out. When you do PvE in Overland, what's gonna happen? You're gonna come across a couple of mobs that gives you like it doesn't make you ready for the actuality of what PvE is. Because what is the actuality of PvE? The actuality of PvE is knowing what all the skills do, knowing what all the mechanics being thrown at you can mean for you, how to react on different type of mechanics, how to react on an AoE on the ground, how to react on this. No. I'm not talking about that, Salvas. I'm not talking about the difference between PvP and PvE. I'm talking about Overland PvE. What does that do? It does not make you ready for the actuality of PvE. It doesn't learn you a rotation. It doesn't learn you how to build your character. It doesn't learn how to maximize your statistics and whatnot. And then, suddenly at a point where Mr. or Mrs. Overland PvEer wants to do challenging content. They throw themselves into the challenging content. They get fucking stomped in their face. because Overland did not prepare them. Right? Absolutely did not prepare them whatsoever. So they get stomped in the face. The power creep has been so high, where it is very forgiving in a way. And you're not going to be ready to the actuality. So it's the introduction to the game. The introduction to the game is an inaccurate form of what the game has to offer. And there is no graduate progression in there. That's why you have a problem right now of new players not really getting into PvE at a higher level because the leap is too big. Right now for PvP, there is not even a leap, right? So right now there is no leap for PvP. I argue that introducing Vengeance is not going to result in players' influx into actual PvP. So people are going to play Vengeance, and when they go from Vengeance to any other form of PvP, where they have to think about their build, where they have to think about all these aspects that make an MMORPG an MMORPG, which is the power fantasy of your gear options, your gear choices, your class choices, your skill choices, all these things in combination with each other. It doesn't make you ready for that whatsoever. Why? Because it's a template PvP. Short term, this is going to bring a lot of people in. Short term, this is going to make a lot of fun for people, which you see in the test. Long term, this is not a sustainable way of playing an MMORPG. An MMORPG is a constant grind. It's a constant carrot on the stick to become better. Both in gear, in rank, in all these aspects of the game. So you need a carrot on the stick. Vengeance is removing a big aspect of that, which makes people that might be in the long term actually be interested in joining quote unquote the actual PvP, not ready for it whatsoever, and they get like a false sense of what the game is about. The same as that the Overland gives you a false sense of what ESO PvE combat is about. So if you want to fix that, you need to grab the game at the core. Because what I want as a PvPer is I want people to get into PvP. I want a new player to be motivated to get into PvP. That's why the idea of Vengeance is not particularly a bad one. I do think it's a bad one as a big overland PvP mode. I think if you want to introduce a Vengeance stripped down version of PvP where people get to introduce themselves with how does PvP work, how does fighting work, what can I expect fighting all types of different people, how do sieges work, you could do that in some kind of like educational type of content, which Vengeance could technically be. So I'm not fully against the concept as Vengeance being a stepping stone. Though, Vengeance being a permanent open world big skill PvP mode is, I think in the long term, not a great idea. I think in the long term it's not a great idea because it kills the purpose of an MMORPG. It's the same reason why back in the day, when chapters came out, when stuff came out in the game, people were playing a lot for a long time. Why? The grind was longer, the grind was harder. Do you guys remember when Fetishran just came out? Be honest, how many of you guys struggled with Fetishran when it just came out? That was like a long journey towards succeeding in Fetishran for most people. But it was still an accessible journey, and it was a graduate progressive journey where in normal Fetishran you were already struggling, but it was very doable. Veteran Fetishran was quite hard. So you had a graduate. Yeah, Maelstrom, same idea. Maelstrom, same idea. Yeah. No, I'm not talking about the runs. I'm not talking about the amount of run. I'm talking about like the difficulty. But yeah, also the grind. The grind back then was a bit too extreme. The uncurated looting system was a bit weird, but think about you as a player gradually getting into the game. Why? The numbers were different, the power creep was different, the content was more graduate, Overland was harder. Why? Because your character was weaker. Quests, you saw. I remember. I'm gonna completely admit it, guys. I was such a fucking noob at this game that I did the main quest, and the first elite mob that I had to fight against, I died to. It was like an 80k health NPC or something, and I was like a noob, and he had like 80k health or something. I just fucking died because I was a noob at the game. That little friction at the beginning of the game immediately enticed me to learn more about the game. Because you know what that moment did to me? That moment made me read my skills. And it made me realize, wait, I actually have a heal. Maybe if I press that heal, I can survive. So I go in again. I still die. I later realize that some kind of attack is killing me. And then I'm like, maybe if I block, maybe if I dodge. Again, this is a very romanticized idea of learning the game, but this is genuinely what happened. Right now, a new player holds heavy attack, spams a couple of light attacks, and everything falls flat on the ground. The leap from the introduction to the game to harder content. Mushroom was way harder than Fetishen, not even close. It's not what I'm saying. I'm not making the point. The point why I say not Maelstrom, I wasn't talking about the amount of runs. But yeah, Maelstrom in the beginning was insane because our power was so less. Our power was just so much less. Right? Okay, having said all of that, can we come to a conclusion that if you're not doing anything in the core about your game, that the Vengeance solution to introduce new players to PvP is not gonna be a long-term solution? The same as right now, they pretty much made everything easier and easier and easier in the game with subclassing, gives you more power, hybridization, gives you more power, gives you more sustain, just some flat value increases, gives you more power, more sustain, more survivability, more everything. They made everything easier, yet the new player influx to long-term players influx is barely existing anymore. You just need to try solo some sort of offense. Yeah, no, you can still push yourself. Like I'm not mad about the end game right now. I think you can still push your end game a lot. Like I think you can still have a lot of fun. I'm just talking about a new player experience into more veteran content is like a weird leap. It's an unnatural leap that doesn't feel right. And don't get me wrong, ESO is not the only game with this issue. It's a modern day MMORPG issue where they want to give everyone a dopamine rush when they start the game because they think that short-term success is gonna make people be enthusiastic for the game long-term. But I think simply by looking at the numbers, look at the player base numbers of ESO in the last couple of years, they made everything easier. They made everything more accessible. They gave everyone more power. And the player base is declining. We are complaining about back in the day how hard stuff was and oh my god, we had to farm so much. Well, more players were playing back then. Explain that. So maybe, like Decimus was saying earlier on his stream as well, and I always have agreed to this, maybe having a longer grind, a more graduate learning curve, and all these things together is actually better for the long-term player. Let me scroll up a little bit if I missed anything. Overlap PvP solo, pop. More skill stats minus the vengeance. We don't have a zero power for real PvP. So much game to try. I'm 100% swapping if Grace is deleted. Yeah, I'm not sure because we're gonna continue reading because there is something hopeful as well about this post. There is something hopeful about this post, which we're gonna get into in a second. I don't give a fuck how often did I say that vengeance is their vision for circuit PvP. I'ma say overland PvP bounty hunting was their vision. They ditched it. Yeah, that would have been cool. Actual overland PvP. That could have been really, really cool. I don't think you can implement it now anymore though. It's a glorified worker on how strong term results because the PvEers will zerk, PvEers complain, and when the PvEers stop, the PvP is a long gone and serious death. Yeah. Because don't get me wrong, I want casuals and new players to come into PvP. I want that. I really wish new people would not be as scared and demoralized by PvP. That's the current state of PvP. That's why I said what I said earlier. I don't want to have the current state of serial PvP as a standard. That's a ridiculous comparison. Because no one in their right mind thinks the current state of PvP is an actual good one. It needs so much change. That's why the isolated issue of vengeance versus current Cyrodiil is so disingenuous. It's like, we broke the game, we broke the balance, we broke class identity, we broke the power creep, we broke ball groups, we broke healing, we broke everything in the game. Here you have something else. Now you're less frustrated. Be happy with it. That's stupid to me. That is ridiculous. That's a mindset I can never see myself living in. I don't want to live in a world like that. I don't want to live in a world where they fuck you over and then the next day they fuck you over a little bit less and they say like, you should be happy now. That is ridiculous to me. So, let's continue. As a dev team scenario is the one we strongly prefer and most likely. We want to have the choice between playing Vengeance or Grace, and we closely monitor both campaigns populations to help inform additional actions we move forward. We recognize that some of our players would prefer there be no changes to their characters, effectively how they are in Greyhound's serial campaign, while enjoying the higher population, reduced latency, the Vengeance campaign. This is not something that will be possible. So this is them admitting they cannot fix Cyrodiil, which again I think is fair and honest of them to finally admit that they cannot fix the performance of Cyrodiil with the way the current game works. What I simply fail to see, is how these 3 tests they have done so far made them come to this conclusion. Because they haven't added passives yet, they haven't added healing cap, different healing caps, different AoE caps, they haven't added procs, they haven't added 5-piece sets, 1-piece sets, mythics, damage amplifiers, a million major, but they haven't added anything yet for them to make to this full conclusion. So again, I think this is a bit weird for them to say. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But again, at least they're being straight to the point. They're communicating to us, we're giving up on it. Fair enough. So we can get the idea out of our mind that they're actually going to fix Cyrodiil as it is, performance-wise. So we have to look at, okay, what other solutions do we have then? Fair enough. It's not honest. Honest would be, sorry, we can fix Cyrodiil. This is solo engine, bent into MMO, sunken cost fallacy, historic shit decision. Yeah, okay, fair enough, fair enough. They could own up to past mistakes. Only instance for population. Yeah, maybe they could build it from the ground up, but I think they just have an inherent issue with the amount of players with the current combat system. So, okay, they admit this will not be possible. Based on what we have learned from the test so far, we can offer one or the other, not both. This is what blows my mind. Am I the only one to think that this is crazy? Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm an absolute noob. Maybe I'm an absolute freaking idiot. Maybe I'm just dumb as fuck. Maybe I have no brain, no capability of thinking. How can you base on these 3 tests that we had so far that you cannot fix Cyrodiil? That's crazy. Like, I believe them. I believe them if they say they cannot fix Cyrodiil. But how can you say, based on what we've learned from the test? That's what blows my mind. Either I'm missing something. Like, please, if someone knows what I'm missing, if someone, like, I'm happy to be pointed out as an absolute dumb face here. Because I genuinely do not understand this conclusion. Like, I genuinely do not understand that how you can say, with 3 tests, with pretty much a naked game, where the performance was constantly good, they haven't even scraped they haven't even, like, touched the edges of what the actual game is on live right now. How can they come to this conclusion? That's what blows my mind. I wish I could get an answer on this. I wish I could get an answer on this. I am gonna probably ask, like, Khan or Pain in the Axe if they could maybe ask someone or I don't know. Because this blows my fucking mind. They do forum polls on ESO official forums, thinking it applies to the whole community. Yeah, I don't believe in polls. I don't believe in polls because if again, let's keep the analogy. Let's keep the analogy. Let's keep the analogy of sitting in your chair, getting a fucking baseball hat in your face, right? Can we all agree that getting a baseball bat in your face is not nice, right? Then afterwards, they're gonna smack you in the face, let's say with a... What is something that still hurts but hurts less? Maybe like, I don't know. Just imagine something that still hurts but it hurts less. A tennis racket. Fair. Fair enough. So you get hit by a tennis racket, right? Now they're gonna ask you in a survey, do you feel a little bit happier than with your baseball bat? I'm gonna probably say, yeah, I if I would have to compare the both, yeah, sure, it hurt a bit less. I know that's a very extreme analogy, but that's inherently what they're asking. We all know the current state of Cyrodiil is shit. They're gonna present us with something. Of course, in the short term, people are gonna say, like, yes, vengeance. Yes, this is better. Yes, we could at least do this. Yes, I could press my buttons. Yes, I could finally do this. Yes, I could actually do this. Blah, 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 blah. Of course, you're gonna feedback in a more positive way. But what does that feedback mean? It means nothing in the fucking long term. Because in the short term, I'm gonna say, yes, please give me the tennis racket. But you know what? After 50 smacks with a tennis racket, I'm gonna ask them, please fucking shoot me in the head. Because I'm tired of this. It makes zero sense. It doesn't make any sense why this feedback loop is so ridiculous as it is. Why do we care? Why do we care about the experience of people? It doesn't matter. It's a hoax. People saying that they like Vengeance, it's a hoax. Because you haven't played Vengeance for 3 months in a row. You haven't logged into the game with no incentive ever to play anything else in the game, to set one foot into a dungeon, to go one bit into any open world zone to farm a mythic. You get no incentive to play the fucking game. The only incentive that you have is log on in your templated PvP mode in an imbalanced MMORPG PvP. If this is what you want, go play fucking Bannerlord. Go play Mordau. Go play, I don't know, like some PvP game where none of this fucking shit matters. We're playing an MMORPG. We're playing an MMORPG. Our whole journey, everything we find in the world is what's supposed to make our character. Not some fucking template. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. To me, this is absolutely wild. This is the wildest thing I've read in a long time. But again, we're gonna get more positive in a bit, right, guys? We're gonna get more positive in a bit. All current zero instances will be gone, and Grey Hose will become the Met Zero. That's not what the farm per se. That's not the point I was making. Oh wait. It's possible they know this is what they done in order to fix it. It would take so much time and resources that it's better to just make Vengeance perma campaign besides Grey House and add a new. Yeah. Remember what they said? Positive feedback when during the Vengeance test. There was zero population. This company makes zero sense. Probably at some peak when people. Yeah, of course. And how hard is it? How hard is it to have more population than the current Cyrodiil? That's why I keep saying the current Cyrodiil is not a standard. The standard should be fucking different than the current Cyrodiil. It's ridiculous. It's a stupid mindset. Especially with either Zero stays or we blow it up in Vengeance, not both. That's depending. That's depending on the solution. I will. You know when I will 100% agree to that, Chester? If we had more than these fucking 3 tests. Based on what we have learned from the test so far, we can offer one or the other, not both. Someone explain this to me. But it simply isn't, and what's never going to be. Yeah, and that is fair. That is fair. Like again, I don't even know if they can. I don't even know if they can or cannot fix, or maybe it costs them $10 million and they're just not gonna do that. Maybe it costs them way too many expertise that they don't have access to. To me, this is wild. This is absolutely wild talk. To the most popular MMOs of the market until we get actual change. And they are wanting to change, but we have to be very careful in what we're happy with and what we're allowing us change. And again, I don't even know how much power we have. I don't think we have a lot of power, which has clearly been shown. Because remember everyone, when Vengeance launched, people were afraid that maybe Vengeance would take over Cyrodiil. Nah, it's just a test. Nah, it's just a test. Remember? Remember when I came into other people's stream and I had hundreds of people from their chat jump on me because I was a gatekeeping PvPer. I was just wild. I was just conspiracy theorist. I was the crazy one, and now it's a legit scenario they're giving us. Alright, let's continue. Lastly, so this is where I'm slightly happier about. Lastly, we do want to share a few early bits about some things we're working on for PvP. You will hear a little more about this in January, which is relatively soon. So let's hope this is going to be good. For players who wish to enjoy PvP experiments that is more like Greyhost, we are in the early stages of working on a mid-size PvP space. The early stages, I don't know what that means. I don't hope it's like 3 years away from now. No, we didn't change it, Rats. I'm manifesting, Rats. I'm manifesting. I'm manifesting 10 more followers. We are in the early stages, so I don't know what this means. This is one thing. It will be a smaller than Cyrodiil, but larger than our largest battleground. I also don't know what this means. What does this mean? Does this mean 12 versus 12 versus 12? Does this mean 16 versus 16 versus 16? Does this mean 20? 30? 25? 24? What does this mean? Right? So before I can come to any conclusion, I'm not going to be excited about this. I'm not going to be angry about this. They say a Greyhost-like experience. I would expect a significant population per faction, right? A significant group. And offer enough room for 3-sided keep warfare. So keep warfare. So we're going to have sieges, breaking the doors, and whatnot, in an overall similar experience to Cyrodiil. So it has to be similar to Cyrodiil, is what they're saying right now. So I would assume it's going to be like a significant player base. The goal that will allow players to have their full suit of abilities, unique builds, equipment, which is what a lot of us want, just like in Greyhost. We're also working on a PvP progression system that we're excited to tell you a little bit more early next year. Okay, this is also exciting. Like PvP progression system, if that can be cool. With rewards. And whatnot. I am genuinely positive about this. Why? They actually want to put resources towards the game, where they want to give us a PvP mode, which in their mind is going to be something for people that like Cyrodiil, people that like their abilities, builds, and everything are going to like. Isolate that feeling, isolate that sentiment, that's positive. Like, I cannot say any other thing that's a positive sentiment. So, I'm not hating on this. I'm gonna obviously be careful of being super excited, because throughout the history of Cinemax, they haven't always delivered on what they're hyping about. So, I'm not genuinely excited about it, but on itself, the sentiment is a good thing. Purely on like a sentimental base of them looking at what they're saying, this is all we can work with. They want a similar experience to Cyrodiil. They want keep warfare, 3-sided. The goal will be able to allow players to have their full abilities, unique builds, and equipments, etc., just like in Greyhost. So they want to make something, right? They want to make something for us. I think that on itself is something that I can be relatively positive about. But again, I'm not gonna hype I'm not gonna be excited. I'm gonna wait till we see what it actually is. But for me to actually, but the sentiment is there. It's a different sentiment than the for example when they announced Vengeance. No, I believe there's a Vengeance was a test and not become yeah. No, I agree. We just talked about like I don't know what you think about all of this, Membear. And by the way, everyone go follow Membear Knock. An absolute legend. An absolute legend. Yeah, they said the bow was to be the next one. The next artifact, yeah. I don't know what they did to the artifact. They pretty much at a certain point said, like, we cannot get the performance for Cyrodiil better. So until then, we're not going to do anything to Cyrodiil. I suppose. But yeah, it's, I don't know. Thank you all for your continued feedback and support. Your participation in Vengeance tests and related survey has been greatly appreciated. We like to remind everyone that we send out surveys where it's important we are able to verify that participant played the content. We have to send out the service via email. Please consider opting into this emails if you haven't already. Maybe include it. Yeah, I think this is a bit silly, but fair enough. It's whatever, right? I don't want to read comments. I don't want to get to the forum. Yo, Mr. Airway! Thank you for the gifted sub! Oh my god, Airway, you've been so ridiculously generous, man. Thank you so much, man. I don't want to be all negative. Jury's still out. We'll see, I guess. Yeah. I have a couple sentiments towards this whole post. On one hand, like I said the other day, is it perfect? Is this hopeful? Is this gonna prove anything? Is this gonna mean anything for the future? No, but I do feel, as weirdly as it sounds, as I still think there is a lot of disingenuous language. There is a lot of mistakenly said facts and blatantly weird conclusion making in this post. Having said all of that, I do still think this is one of their most communicating posts about what they're gonna do with the future I've seen in a very long time. I'm trying to get into ESO for the first time, but the build I want generally just doesn't exist, I think. Ooh, tell me what type of what type of build you want to play, because we actually you actually hopped into a community, if I can say that myself, where we might have the most creative build makers in the game, because we all like RP PvP. We like being super creative with our builds. So maybe we can help you, Howdy. There's more, so what's below? Yeah, but then we're gonna get into the comments. And we're gonna get into the comments. She's commenting to something. She basically gave up on trying to improve the current scenario to what's the point. Scenario 1 is what we're working toward, in which Grey Host would remain as it is now, like no the original message. Through Vengeance tests we've done so far, we learned that in order to support our goals, a large-scale PvP zone with mass-scale battles and a much higher population, the abilities, procs, passive, etc. must be lighter versions of the ones that exist in the rest of the game, so we'll be applying that to Vengeance, giving those who prefer the current Grey Host rule set that option. Yeah. Based on what? Based on... I still don't... It's below? Yeah. What am I supposed to do? I just said I don't want to go... I'd like to clarify this. I'm a bit shocked scenario 2 is even communicated. That means there's an actual possibility that you consider to drop all usual campaigns. I'm not sure how to feel about it. I'd like to clarify this then, if that's a concern with this message. We wanted to be transparent and define what's the only options are. It's those two. There are no others. It also does not mean we're considering both. There's not our angle, what we want for everyone. No, it's what you said in the it's what they said in the beginning as well. They said Vengeance is not our end goal, but it's gonna be their end goal. It's crazy. This is gonna be crazy. Remove AoE proxies like fish is dead. Remove 22 million figure in region 10. See, this is I don't know, man. See, this is why I don't want to read these things, because people are so simple-minded. People are like, you know how we're gonna fix Cyril? Remove cross healing. Yeah, sure. Like, it's crazy. Either we like vengeance or they take race for not. Yeah, it's we look into it without learning. Fixing is just to the maybe. That's what she said. Yeah. Then a minute that the plans the for vengeance or else. Yeah, it's there's no third option. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And this is my biggest beef. This is my biggest fucking issue with this entire post. It is, let me find it. It is where is it again? This. Anyone with a brain, because I think I'm just stupid. Based on what we've learned from the test so far, we can offer one or the other, not both. Based on the 3 tests they have had, they know that they cannot do more to Cyrodiil than vengeance. I don't understand how you can come to the conclusion. If you want to be transparent about it, explain this to me. Explain that you have played a naked game, an absolute stripped down game, stripped down more than alpha phase PvP. How can you say, after 3 of those tests, by pretty much allowing nothing in Cyrodiil, that you cannot bring the end result of PvP? Because you know what I was saying in the beginning? I now realize how stupid I am. Right? I now realize how stupid I was. That I even said in the beginning that we have the current accessibility to sets, passives, and everything, options. And then we have Vengeance where we have 0. I was afraid that they were going to settle at any percentage less than 100. Right? Do you guys remember? I was afraid that they were going to settle for any number less than 100. Right now, they're going to settle for 5%. 10% max. They're going to say, here you have 10% of the game. Go play it. But other RPG has easier combat system. Yeah, the combat system is cool, but I'm not going to lie. If this mid-scale PvP is not fun, it's Jover. It's Jover. I cannot play BGs all the time. I cannot play BGs all the time, and I cannot RP PvP in Vengeance, so... What's New World? Ouch. I mean, I'm gonna go back to WoW. I'm gonna go back to WoW. No one is gonna watch me. I'm probably gonna stop streaming, and that's the end of it. That's probably what's gonna happen. On combat and MMO, yeah, but combat is not everything. Combat is important, but it's not everything. Come on, WoW. Yep. I already have a YouTube account that's called that. If they give us Vengeance as a word test, I will not play Vengeance. Yeah. It's really, really weird. I am again the mid-scale PvP that could absolutely blow us all away, right? It could blow us all away. It could be extremely cool. It could genuinely give that feeling of like super cool big battles, epic PvP, you know, like some small skill, some bigger skill, like that epic feeling of a battle. It could give that. Maybe it's super good, right? But we have to wait for that. We have to wait to see if that's the thing. Because I know for a fact that I'm not gonna enjoy Battlegrounds every single day. Yeah, you're 100% right, Broekman. You're 100% right, Broekman. That's exactly what they were saying. Amazon announcing a shutdown of New World should have been an opportunity for ESO Microsoft to pump in big bucks into the game and fix what needs fixing to attract New World players looking for something else. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been... Again, maybe it is. Maybe this is really good. Maybe this is really good. Maybe this is really good. Again, I'm not being hopium copium. I'm keeping an open mind. It could also be absolutely trash. It could also still be the current balance. Still be the current ball groups being dominant. Still having the same AoE healing, cross healing, heal stacking issues. So it would just be a small scale of the same issues. Could be. That's why I'm mistakenly, or that's why I'm having a bit of a problem with the way they test stuff. I've been ridiculed, home. I've been ridiculed. I came into people's chats where people were discussing how much they liked Vengeance and whatnot, and I was like, please be really careful with this feedback, because they are actually gonna think that people want this as a game mode. Treat it as a test. Talk about the performance. Give your feedback. Yes, I pressed button number 3. Button number 3 worked. Thank you. Next test. That's what people should have give feedback on. Fuck the feedback about balancing, about class identity and shit. That's giving into them allowing Vengeance to be a thing. That's why I was so fanatic at the beginning. I was so fanatic at the beginning about this, because this is exactly what I warned for. They admitted in this post that they used the surveys and they used the feedback to possibly analyze Vengeance. And I can guarantee you there is such a small percentage of people that have said that they like Vengeance, that are genuinely gonna be long-term Vengeance PvP players. That number is so small. That number is so small. Well, that depends, hometown. Like, it's one or the other. If this mid skill is gonna take a long time, then they have to keep Grey Host open. Else they're genuinely the dumbest thing ever. You know what you guys talk about? But I prefer 90% of the game being removed. Makes it feel rewarding for my 10 hours spent. What? Yeah. Yeah, people love the Golden Pursuit. You see that, like, yeah, we want to test PvP, but our freaking event tickets for a stupid style page is more important to me. People, like, sorry, that maybe sounds a bit like unnecessary, but it's like, it's like, if you're a Canadian, and you go on a holiday to Switzerland for a week, and you have a bunch of opinions about Switzerland, don't tell the Swiss government how to run their country. Don't tell the Swiss people how they should live their life. Think about that. Think about that. Think about some random tourist coming into your country. They don't have the incentive to live there. They don't have the incentive to be part of your society. The only reason why they're there is because they're on a holiday. And they're gonna tell your government, and they're gonna tell the people from your country how their country should be the way that they want it to be. What would you tell those people? Be honest. What would you tell those people? Again, everyone is allowed to their opinion. So it's fine to voice your opinion. But is your government gonna listen to that? Are you as a people gonna listen to the tourist? And I don't mean that disrespectful, because I don't want people to be distant from PvP. I want PvP to be welcoming. I despise the new player experience right now. That's why I say the game has to come up with solutions for that. But vengeance is not the solution. Some outside input? Fair enough. Fair enough. But then I can follow up. Should that input be negative towards the people from the country? I want to do PvP. Imagine being away for 5 years, then you come back there, scribe mythics that you need new gear. Needs to be collected. That is fair. But that's an MMORPG easy. That's an MMORPG. I hate is like finding a build that you play just to realize I need to farm. That is an MMORPG easy. Like I don't wanna sound arrogant or dismissive, because yeah, it sucks that you have to do, but that's inherently what an MMORPG is, right? Removing the grind from an MMORPG is a short-term nice solution, but not a long-term one. That's why I haven't really got into PvP yet, even though, but that's like, yeah, see, I think we just have an inherent issue. If this is genuinely what people, so what would you guys have wanted to, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, I'm truly, genuinely willing to understand this. So what do you guys would have wanted to not play the game for 5 years, come back and do what? Because what have all the players that didn't leave for 5 years? What should they have done then? Yeah, sorry Howdy. I'm 100% gonna help you out. I'm sorry. We're having a little bit of a in-depth conversation. Game hasn't changed? I mean, in 5 years, the game obviously has changed a lot. I want to do this. I mean, it will take I want to do this, we will time to improve, and there's stuff back in your mind you feel more worth doing at this stage. What you mean? I'm assuming you guys are more PvP based. Looking into more... Oh, we can help you with PvE as well. We can help you with PvE as well, Dave. We got you. Yo, Broekman! Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the fellowship. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Like I don't wanna answer, like I don't wanna bait you for answers easy or furai. Like I have no issue in grinding. All I'm saying why I haven't really got into PvE lately, there's so much else that needed to be done this way. Okay, so you're not having an issue with it. Okay. I thought you had an issue with it. Okay, my bad then. I misinterpreted that. I thought you had a problem with it. Yeah, no, if you've been gone for 5 years, you have scribing, scrying, a new class, subclassing, mythics. So yeah, there's mythics is scrying. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. You have class sets and Infinite Archive if you're interested in that. Yeah, no, that is fair. That is fair. Okay, sorry, I misinterpreted you. I thought you meant it as like a complaint. Okay, fair enough. Because yeah, I get it. It kind of sucks, but you have to realize, like, if you step out of something and then you come back, all the other people have had to do something for those years, right? It would be, and again, certain people. That's why I was genuinely asking, because I know people who genuinely believe that they think it's a good idea to have everything fast, everything handed out to them, so they can immediately jump into endgame. The plateau should be low. They think that is a good thing. But I can talk from experience, from having played many MMORPGs, having followed many MMORPGs, that is usually the downfall. In my situation, what was holding me back for PvP was an eventual complexity of the build and the skills in the trade. So search for solutions, how to make it simpler for me. And now found Torque, tested it. Yeah, Torque is always a solution. And talked a little bit about traits and enchantment and a work. I don't think it was too much of a grind. No, Torque is like a relatively easy grind. And even if you want to take away Torque and add some builds, you would have eventually gotten there as well. I think like if you continue to wanna delve more into PvP dinosaurs, I still think you can learn a lot about just playing the game, PvPing with your Torque build, because Torque is a very good mythic to play with. You can still learn about like making a build, because like obviously it takes time. Obviously it is that, but the beauty of this game is there's always relatively easy solutions. So let's say the meta is null Arca, right? People are gonna tell you, use null Arca on the front bar, and use Rally and Cry on the back bar, and use what's a hard monster set to get? I'm just gonna name something. The Blind as your monster set, and use what's a hard and use DDF as your mythic. Those are like maybe harder grinds. So you have to do a trial. You have to farm PvP. You have to do veteran dungeons. So that's like all the thing. And if I would tell you, you could have the same sort of effect with the build, but then it's like a little bit less powerful, but it's like a stepping stone for you to get into the game with like, okay, how about you replace Rally and Cry with Retro Vitality on the back bar, which is going to give you a lot of help as well, especially as a newer player. It's going to give you defense, offense, and everything, because sustain equals both of that. Okay, let's look at null arca. How can we replace null arca? Maybe we can get like another offensive set on the front bar. Let's look at offensive set on the front bar. Orders Red is a crafted set. Orders Red gives you a lot of stats, gives you a lot of value. Maybe you can choose Orders Red. Then you look at monster sets. Okay, maybe I don't have the DLC, but maybe you can go to a base game DLC, which has like Bloodspawn. Okay, you go Bloodspawn. I'm not saying this is the best build ever, but it's a build where you can very much work with. You can very much start with, and then you can slowly grind towards an improvement. It is the chase for the meta that is usually killing people, because they get told a build, do this, do this, do this, do this. They spend weeks or days grinding and fixing everything. Then they have the set, but they have not played the game properly. They've put in all the effort to the build, and then they're gonna get stomped. And it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, on itself, there's nothing wrong with the meta chase, but you already admitted that you're fine with the grind. So that's good. If you're fine with the grind, there's no complaint. If you're fine with the grind, if you're fine with the learning curve, if you're fine with all the typical MMORPG aspects, it's fine. Let me scroll up a little bit. I don't have a problem either, but I'm on the same... Okay. I want to get straight into the content like PvP and trials, like I used to, but I'm stuck regard. Yeah, but that's because you stepped out of the game for 5 years, right? That's not... Like, what were we supposed to do for 5 years? Wait for your return? And I don't mean it in a I don't mean it in a like, it's not your fault that you quit for 5 years, but it's also not the game's fault for introducing new stuff to the game, right? I don't have the time to spend hours grinding, doing stuff in one single day. It took me a week. But that is perfect! Because, Furay, that is perfect, because you now have played a week, you got the mythic. Did it feel good when you got the mythic? Must have felt pretty good, right? Must have felt like a little victory. Especially for you, because you had to spread the time over multiple days. I think that actually almost feels good. Like, I think people underestimate time sink in the game. That sinking time into a game is actually a good thing. That's exactly what you want to do. You do want to see a result at a certain point. You don't want to mindlessly grind for a month and see no result, right? You want to see some result. But if you get your mythic after a week, and you get your 5-piece set after another week, and you got your monster set in a weekend, and you got your skill line leveled in 2 days, I think that's a nice spending of your time. Because that's an MMORPG, and MMORPG is building your character towards something. As for trials, if you're a decent player, you can do normal trials, especially crackling trials. Yeah. It's difficult because I do want to do trials. Yeah, trials are quite accessible. The quote unquote base game trials, they're quite accessible. Unique build and look, they can do well in trials. But I don't need to be hitting top damage numbers or anything. I think that's definitely manageable. We can definitely get you. If any of you need help with your builds, I can help a lot. I know pretty much every build around there for PCNA, my guild, Fellowship of the Ping. I love that name. Oh, I do it for the hard modes now, no issues. Yeah, like overall, most of the PvP content got a little bit easier as well because of the power. But you can 100% do this. Literally want to have a Holy Knight Great Sword, DPS or Holy Tank. You can 100% make a Holy Knight DPS build. Like, I'm already thinking, obviously, about the Templar class. Two-hander is a really good bar. Two-hander is a really good weapon. You might can even find a way for two-handers, like a two-hander on the front bar, two-hander on the back bar. I think you can definitely make like a Holy Knight idea with like the Templar class. You can use some Adric Spear, Dawn's Red skills. Maybe you can add something from subclassing in there. Maybe you can put the emphasis on the weapon skill line a lot. Obviously, you're gonna use like Stampede and Carve, which are like big swings with your two-hander and like a charge attack. Like a very much of a knight. Like, you can 100% make something work like that for sure. You're absolutely right. And you say you can have an easy alternative for like 90% efficiency of the meta. Yeah, you can. You're gonna lose a little bit of power for sure. But it's a knight stepping stone. Yeah, what up, Corellia? Love you too, man. I think 46 was perfect to get all solo arena weapons without sweating. Would have been, yeah. I'm a little slow, but I'm assuming I'll be dead. DPS with two-hand bar can work if you have a completely weapon on the other bar. For tank, yeah. Yeah. I think he was offering like either two-hander or a tank. I think. But maybe I'm wrong. What about a YouTube video series where you grab a new account and show how easy it is to get started in PvP? I could technically do it on NA, it's just the performance will be shit. I'm not fully opposed to that idea, yeah. Probably have a very good auto weapon to compensate, I'm sure. I don't mind subclassing some abilities. My main thing is whenever I mention Templar DPS, I just seem not to think it's a good idea. Templar is fine. Like, again, you already said that you don't want to do the craziest DPS and you don't care for like the craziest and hardest content in the game. So you can do like a lot of trials with Templar. 100%. Yeah. Templar is like the thing that certain ESO players do in their advice, and not only ESO player, any game players, is where they lose the empathy for that little bit of magic that you have when you start an MMO. So they don't look at you as like you're a person that wants to be a holy knight in PvE and wants to swing a big two-hander and have like holy skills and all that stuff. People don't relate to that because they have been ingrained into ESO where they look like 35% crit, 6.5k weapon damage, 130% critical damage. We obviously have to have 18k penetration, minus 6k penetration because my major breach will be delivered by them. We don't need major savagery because we get that from him. That's how certain people are in the game, which is fair because they are at that level. But they cannot show the empathy towards your wish. So when you propose this question to a lot of people, they probably be like, a two-handed Templar? Oh, why would you do that? Why not go dual-wield bow? Why not go subclass assassination and animal companion and That's just people's brains. You almost cannot fault them for that. That's just how they have been ingrained into this game by playing it for so long. But luckily, you stumbled across a community that is very much into... Like, I naturally do PvP, but I PvP with that exact mindset. Like, this is Sauron. So he plays like Sauron, he looks like Sauron, he feels like Sauron. This is Azok the Defiler. So he looks like Azok, he feels like Azok, he plays like Azok. This is Gimli. He looks like Gimli, he plays like Gimli, and he feels like Gimli. That is how I play the game on like a PvP set, but you can implement that same in PvP. Yeah, you can at like a more simplified level, you can genuinely play however you want to play. But on the other hand, if people make a group and their group wants you to have a certain standard, that is their right. So you have the right to play however you want, but that group also has the right to design their group however the way they want to design their group. And that's a dynamic people have to realize. Like, both are true. If I want to make a PvE group and I want to score push and I want to do crazy nuts DPS, yes, I'm gonna ask people, what set are you running? What skill lines are you running? What buffs are you bringing? What weapons are you using? Not in that way, I'm probably just gonna ask them for the build, but you know what I mean. I care about like all these aspects of what I want to see from them, if that's my goal. But if my goal is just, hey, let's clear this thing, and it's like, oh, I've never done this PvE trial, and I'm gonna be, don't worry, we got a couple veteran players, just make sure on the third boss do this. Like, they're very welcoming people in this game. They are like very, very welcoming people in this game, but they're also very like people that are into their own niche and in their own wishes. That's, for example, like if you go into a battleground on your PvE build and you have 19k health and it's a deathmatch and you die 6 times in a minute, it's okay to expect that someone is gonna say, bruh, why are you bringing this build? Go make a PvP build before you enter a BG. You can interpret that as like, oh my god, that's so toxic because I want to play the game however I want to play. No, at that point you're part of a team. You're doing something together. So it's gonna be his ideal BG versus your ideal BG. Your ideal BG is entering the BG, getting the daily bonus, and get the fuck out of there. Their BG is, I want to have a cool BG. I want to have a balanced fight. I want to make kills. I want to win this BG. Right? So both sentiments are undeniably true. That's why you have to always come to some kind of middle ground. So, one, people should not be pooping their pants for being criticized. And on the other hand, people should also not be so unwelcoming to people that have a different mindset than they have. It's not that complicated, but you have to understand both sides. You will have people that are on the extreme spectrum of being like, you're coming into my BG, my territorium, my favorite part of the game. You're gonna bring your squishy PvE build here. You're gonna die over and over again, and that's why the enemy is winning. So naturally, I'm gonna be a bit agitated about you. Does that mean you have to be rude or toxic or whatnot? No. But is there something inherently wrong with that sentiment? No. The same goes the other way around. If someone has never played a BG and just queues up a BG and is like, oh, what the hell is happening? Oh my god, all these people have such high health. Oh, holy fuck, I just got one-shotted. That's fine. People should like experience the game. Like there is no have 30k health or you cannot enter the BG cap. Don't say get good and send them some buildings. Yeah, and be normal about it. Be normal about it. Don't be like, yo, fuckhead, go use this build or don't queue. No, you can be like, hey, hello, I saw you join the BG. I saw you die a lot. Have you ever considered taking a little bit more health, or because we trying to win the PG and it gets a bit harder with you. And if then the other person will be, oh my god, why are you saying this? Yeah, I'm sorry, you maybe should not play an MMORPG. Yo, Rutaos! Good luck on the giveaway. Grim, hola! Have you considered actually becoming a fucking god mode PvPer, unkillable 1vx monster? Have you considered that? I've always been very into medieval history, especially German, French, and English. So I just want to go in a full night. I'll definitely DPS, Great Sword Templar, or Sword and Shield Templar tank. Yeah, you can do both. You can do both. But I'm gonna try find some sort of build to craft it for me. Yeah, you are in our Discord. We're gonna help you. We're gonna help you, Ade. We're gonna help you. I promise you. I cannot promise how fast, but we're gonna help you for sure. People have to realize the difference in adequate entitlement in pre-mage versus post. Oh yeah. Yeah. I agree. Suerte to stream. I don't know what you mean. And guys, we're 8 followers away, 19 subs away. Okay, it's now 2.5 hours later. I think I've said anything that I wanted to say about the post. So I have a very mixed feeling about the post. Maybe a little conclusion. I have a mixed feeling. I appreciate some of their communication compared to what they did in the past. Yet, it's not perfect, so I'm not gonna scream off the top of my lungs that, oh my god, this is the best post ever. I do find some of their wording and use of statistics and comparison a bit disingenuous. I am wildly surprised how they came to the conclusion based on the 3 tests that we had so far that they cannot fix it. So either they already knew this, which then again is the opposite of being transparent, because then they're just pretty much lying. So I don't know. I'm mildly optimistic about the mid-skill PvP. Because from the insensitive of why they're trying to do it is on a lot more positive note than, for example, how they would announce a vengeance or how they would announce like different other systems in the game. I think this is, but again, we've seen it with BGs. The BGs were kind of a good idea. The implementation was not perfect. Now we're kind of there where it's like certain game modes are good, certain should be better, could be better, certain like decisions on like spawning and where the relics are placed, the times of the BGs, the point counts, the MMR systems are still not finished, not done yet. So if they're gonna implement this new system and it's gonna be like a sort of like unfinished product again, then obviously all hope goes out the window. But I'm like slightly hopeful in like a sentimental way about that mid-skill PvP mode. Imagine a world where nobody could access build information or tips from other players. Everybody had to do their own build using creativity and knowledge. I think it would be a wonderful, but also... I agree, Asaria. I agree. I think, I've said it many times, I do think content creators, not only content creators, but I do think content creators killed a little bit of the magic of gaming. Because a content creator, one day the game is out for an hour and they already have like top 10 tips you should do as a new player. If you're interested in that game and you see that video popping up in your feed, I cannot fault people for being interested in that video and clicking on it and learning about it. It's also, people are much more problematic with friction. So, I play a game. I have friction with the game. It doesn't go the way that I hoped it wanted to be. I'm going to Google how to minimize that friction. So it's a player mindset, which is wrong. I think content creators fueled that mindset. Also, maybe created that mindset a little bit. Where right now I'm never like, I remember when like the first time Mythics came out. I remember it was a little bit of a thing where people were like, some people were making videos of where the drops are, and there were like forum posts and everyone was like talking about it. Was still like a little bit of an adventurous thing of like, hey, let's find out where these leads drop, kinda. And you saw more people also going on the PTS and to test these things and whatnot. Right now, I don't think that that is a thing anymore whatsoever. Everyone is just waiting on that one post where it shows where everything drops, or the add-on that's going to tell you where it is. The same for boss mechanics. I think a lot of people are not even intensified about learning about a boss. I think a lot of people are just waiting for the game to tell them like, yo, this is how it's gonna go. Download the add-on and there you go. So yeah. So Azria, I feel you. I feel you. And we all do it. We all do it. I subconsciously do it as well. Create an outfit. Okay, Iskura. If you want a outfit, I'm gonna need like an idea or something. Elrond? Okay, I'm not gonna do it now. I don't know if you're familiar with the um I don't know if you're familiar with the redeem. But you are in a Discord, so you can DM me. I already know it's Elrond, so I got that. You can send me a reminder that you redeemed Elrond, and then I'm gonna find like a time somewhere. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow on stream. But I'm gonna make you an Elrond outfit. I appreciate it. I just dropped it in general chat and I'll leave it there. Don't want to pester anyone. Okay. I appreciate. Nice. So after all that yapping, let's get into some PvP, shall we? Shall we get into some PvP? Who shall we play? Who shall we play? And by the way, everyone that is part of the tournament, I really want to advise you guys to submit your builds ASAP. We have 6 days left. I don't want to do everything in the last day. So if you guys can finish your builds ASAP, that would be really appreciated. And for those who haven't let us know who you're playing yet, please let us know as well. I still need Pure, I still need Aaron. Vamp, did you already choose what you're gonna play? I still need Koktra. Nitsuna make it to 37. Okay. That's fine. So you're almost there. Oh my god, you're gonna roleplay Leto? Nice. Another Witcher character. Damn, we have 3 Witcher characters. That is epic. Camel's death notes. No. The opposite. The opposite. We need Swagster, Biker. Meester still need to let us know what he's gonna play. I have so many. Nice. Ooh, he's a cool looking character. Kingslayer. School of the Viper. Damn. That's cool. Okay, so Kamal, I know I should have been way more famous, but I also make Corellia of Athenium with the purple hair now. I return whenever made. Dude, Corellia, I swear to God, you could make an RP build. You can do it. You actually can do it. If you have a famous fantasy character, just tell me if your character is female or male. Anderson from Helsing Ultimate. Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Anderson Van Helsing. Alexander Anderson? Again, I'm Oh, which Anderson? No, I said fun because from is fun in Dutch. Let's see. Powers. Powers and abilities. Superhuman strength, speed and reflexes, durability and endurance, accuracy, notable will, pain suppression, regeneration, strong regenerative factor, which you typically... Yeah, I mean, I think we can help you with this. Bayonet summoning. Yeah, I definitely think we can do something like this. I think that is definitely possible. Hey, maybe Torque. Hello, hello, hello. Adar, good luck on a giveaway. Okay, you guys wanted to see Treebeard? Let's do some healing. This is my healer Treebeard. We use some flowers, some vines, some green, some wind, and some trees, of course. Very, very fun build. Very easy to play. It's a one-bar build. The sets are also really RP and really cool. We use Oaken Soul, which obviously fits. We use Weird Tree, which obviously fits. I went for Bloodspawn. I thought it was cool to, like, you know, harden up. And the old gen is really, really beneficial for us. And then, I'm not gonna lie, this is just filler. I went for willpower. I like the extra magicka we get, and I like the extra weapon and spell damage we get for our figure heals and our healing thicket heals and everything. Donma! Hello, hello, hello! Good luck on a giveaway. Ruby, good luck on a giveaway. We're 8 followers away, guys. 8 followers and 19 subs. Yeah, we need 8 more followers. Else I'm a liar. Else I'm else I'm a ESO forum post. We can also do 19 subs, rats. I'm just saying. We could also do 19 subs. I mean. Yo, Rudetta! Hello, hello, hello. Where are the queues? By the way, Delta, are you still here? Are you still here, Mr. Delta? Let's play some more energetic music. A little bit more. Yeah. Oh yes, we just talked about it for 2.5 hours, Kieran. We literally just talked about it for 2.5 hours. Yeah, I did a very thorough read-through. Reacting to what everyone was thinking and giving my in-depth analysis and opinion about the matter. I can give you a little summary of what I'm thinking. So overall, I think their communication shows a little bit of improvement. Yet, I still do think there is some disingenuous way in how they present their data, how they present their conclusion making, and how they kind of lure us in a way of agreeing to something that is, in my opinion, a bit like unacceptable. The fact that they come to the conclusion that they cannot fix Cyrodiil based on the 3 tests we had so far, which inherently didn't bring any of the calculation strain to Cyrodiil whatsoever yet. So I really fail to understand that. I ask a million times to everyone in chat, like, am I an idiot? I genuinely do not understand how you can come to this conclusion. Like, I fail to recognize where they say, like, after the tests that we have done, which were all stripped down versions of the game, we come to the conclusion that the full embodiment of the game cannot be fixed. Shouldn't that be like at test number like 18 or test number 11 where they come to that conclusion? So that's really, really, really weird to me. I find it extremely disingenuous that they sell of like, oh my god, remember that test when we did it during the event and the population was still higher than non-vengeance. Yeah, of course, because people are not having fun in the current state of PvP. Like, I'm sick and tired of them using the current state of PvP as like a standard. Because the current state of PvP is something that has been rationally, like in my opinion, an unacceptable state of PvP. And I made the beautiful analogy. I said, like, it's like sitting in your chair getting a fucking baseball hat in your face. And then afterwards they're gonna hit you with a tennis racket. And they're gonna say, like, see, the tennis racket didn't hurt as much, right? So now you should all be happy. It's a bit weird to me. It's like comparing something to like an absolute shit state. And I say, like, yeah, but this is better. Having said all of that, I'm slightly hopeful that mid-skill PvP could be fun. Am I convinced? And do I have faith in them actually bringing like a very fun mid-skill PvP mode? No, I'm not convinced at all. But could it be good? Yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna be extremely open-minded towards it. I'm gonna follow it very, very closely to the development. It could be really cool. It could be really, really cool. Cool stuff. I like the new movement and the damage versus healing test. Yeah, the damage. I said that as well. The damage versus healing test is fine, but that's something different. That's something different at all. So they just give up on trying to find a solution for Cyril, is pretty much it. And I really don't like the fact that they say, like, based on the tests we had so far, we only have 2 options for you. I think that is super weird. Because to me, I could still see an option where test number 20 is going to be the solution and not test number 4. Primed OG for life? Oh shoot! Oh, Prime Dog. Is it Prime Dog or Primed OG? I don't know why your name changed. What was your name beforehand? No, I play a lot of tennis. The tennis racket will fuck you up. Yeah, but I reckon the tennis racket will fuck you up less than a baseball bat. I think this might be the worst PvP for an MMO. What you mean? Like ESO PvP in general? Or mid-skill PvP? Or what do you mean? Is Ruby? Oh, okay. Some of the abilities are just insane. Wait, but what are we talking about? Like, are we talking about vengeance? Are we talking about the current state of PvP? Like anything in particular? Vengeance, like, yeah, exactly, exactly. That's crazy, Kieran. That's crazy to me. That's nonsense to me. Balance? Which MMO doesn't have OP skills? Don't get me wrong, I think the state of ESO PvP is not great, but To call it the worst PvP in any MMO is kind of wild. I don't know an MMORPG where there is no complete imbalance, because it's kind of part of the power fantasy as well. I was watching Showback playing Guild Wars 2 very closely, and guess what? Certain classes, certain playstyles were just absolutely stupid to play. You would absolutely get your ass handed. And then other playstyles would be super dominant. That's one game. World of Warcraft always had a balancing problem. Always. Go watch the Arena World Cups and tell me that certain classes are gonna get picked and certain classes won't even get picked. So yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I don't think the current state of ESO PvP is great, but to call it the worst in PvE, worst in MMO, I think that's a bit over the top. I think the worst thing, like, if you want to argue that ESO is the worst, I would say it's actual performance. Then I might agree with you. I found an issue which that needs fixing. Okay, what is that? What is that, my friend? Look at the judge table. Oh well, I'm in a PG, hang on. This is of premium edition, worth it? Wait, how much is the total now? How much is the content pass? The total now. And I don't know, I hate to judge about if money is worth it. Like, I cannot look in your wallet. I cannot look in your game time and everything. Like, for me it's very easy. Like, I play the game a lot. I genuinely want to do the newest dungeons, try the new sets and all those type of things, so I pretty much just always buy it regardless. But is that advisable from a monetary standpoint? No. Roofie in the passive, saying using dual wield attacks. Does that include light and heavy attacks? I think so, yeah. I think so. I think so, yeah. I'm not entirely sure. There is one person who would know this for sure, and that is Decimus. I don't know if he's still alive, but Decimus will know for sure. I am almost certain, but I'm not 100% certain. I might be wrong. No previous 8. I see. And how much does it cost now then? Because what you're gonna get is the... Do you get the dungeon DLCs as well? You get them as well, right? And you get all the chapters. I don't know, do you have the chapters yet? Do you have the chapters yet? So you're gonna get the DLCs from this year, I think. if you don't have all the chapters yet, does that also mean you get the classes? No side engine DLC? Okay. Do you get the classes from the premium pass? With the chapters?
They have the ball! Vengeance will be swift! They've dropped the ball! Push those charges!
Yeah, I'm genuinely confused about how they sell this game in their content pass, ESO Plus, chapters.
Get after that ball!
I think so, yeah. If you don't have the classes and you don't have the chapters yet, I think 67% discount is probably a nice deal. But I'm not entirely sure. I would feel a bit weird to advise you in that lizard throne, forgive me.
Forget it and move on!
Damn, almost 850,000 healing. It's really confusing. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Do you get the classes from premium content as ESO? Includes all previous release classes. Yes, so you do get all the classes. You do get all the chapters. And then premium as is the discount on Steam or $25? Yeah, the classes are connected to chapters, so yes. But the fun part is if you would get if you get like Somerset or like elsewhere here, then you don't get the Necromancer, right? That's what always so confusing about these chapters. $25, so you don't. Oh, so you only have the base game. You also do you have ESO Plus? Loser Throne? Do you have ESO Plus? No? I think it might be. So you're gonna get Somerset, Elsewhere, Blackwood, Greymore, High Isle, Necrom, Gold Road, this one, Arcanist, Necromancer. It seems like a it seems like a good deal. Hey, do we have the discount mod? It seems like a good deal, yeah. It seems like a good deal. Oh, the game is now $5 as well. Yeah, it seems like a pretty good deal. But yeah. Maybe you want to ask some more people? Maybe don't follow my opinion alone. The belt is in golden. Dude! That's crazy. That's crazy. No one has a cross except me. That's crazy. No way. I cannot join my own tournament. Right, I'm not gonna participate in my own tournament. Maybe someone else will stream it. Damn. I'll try next year. I'll try next year in my own tournament. I know why this was, by the way. I know why this was, because I was literally out of materials. Okay, can you please approve me if on the tournament day I have golden it out? Can you please change the judgment, perhaps? Alright, thank you. What a build, though. What a build. So cool. WP! Good luck on the giveaway. And we need 7 more followers, guys. We need 7 more followers. RRP. Good luck on the giveaway, man. Yo, Zenko! Thank you for the 35 streams in a row. Nikki, good luck on the giveaway. We need 7 more followers, guys. 19 subs.
Just 7 more followers or Kamul is a liar. It's only 7, not 777,777.
I like how dramatic he says the 7. 7. Hello, Fallerina. Man, what a roller coaster. I went through a lot of emotions in the last 2 days. I almost didn't stream today. I almost didn't stream because initially I was way angrier at the post. But then I just watched Decimo stream for 3 hours and we talked about a lot of different stuff. About the post. That calmed me down a little bit. My first initial thought was really like, this is absolutely crazy. Especially when I was, that one line, I can't get over it. Based on the tests we've done. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Let's hop onto another character. I think I'm gonna do like 1 or 2 more BGs and then we're gonna pick a winner. Hang on.
I'm learning some old jokes in sign language. That way Noon will have heard them before.
You're lucky I don't have a cam, Lito. Yesterday I had a lot of fun with Galadriel. Let's see if we can continue. Shooting accident. Good luck on the giveaway. Red Fox, good luck on the giveaway. Forever. These are such great vocals. The lyrics are so good. Seven more followers, guys. Follow the channel. Type in RP PvP. Type in RP PvP in the YouTube chat as well, guys. Make sure to like the stream. Subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't already. And type in RP PvP in the YouTube chat. Oh my god. I just had the wildest comment on the thoughts from yesterday. Yo, Losertron, thank you for the 200 bits! Damn! Thank you. And guys, we can start a hype train if we want to 300 bits. Holy moly. Thank you so much, Lou. Thank you for the 300 bits. We can start a hype train, guys. 400 bits. Oh my god. Wait, we have a sweeping Pikachu? Has Gumbro seen that one already? I'm still grinding for my Smithy leads. It should have been a week since I began search the parts on the bosses. Yikes. Oh my god! Another 100 bits! Lou, thank you so much! Yes, this one has got the answer. I told you. And do they count? Nice. So we were right. We just weren't sure. At least I wasn't sure. Nice. Lou, thank you so much. Holy fuck. 500 bits. Thank you so much, man. We can start a hype train, guys. We can start a hype train. 100 bits, a sub, a gifted sub, a prime. Anything with pockets. We already have 500 bits to begin with. Thank you so much, Lou. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Damn, 500 bits. That is huge. Thank you so much. But, you guys want to know the comments on yesterday's fault on YouTube? Are you guys ready? Yo, Lou! Oh my, someone has to proc it. Lou with the 2-month resub! Oh my god, someone, please! Please, someone proc it. 100 bits! A sub, a gifted sub! We're gonna skip right into level 2. Damn, thank you so much, Lou. Zerd Far went from... This is the 19th, will be 20 today. Damn. Thank you so much. We have to do it fast though. The Eso Gamer, good luck on the giveaway. Thank you so much. But yeah, you guys wanna hear the comment on yesterday's VOD on YouTube? Are you guys mentally prepared for the question of all centuries? And Victor Proxit! Victor with 100 bits, thank you so much! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you! Let's fucking go, guys! That was 68%! Damn. Thank you so much, Victor. Let's go! Seven followers away, 18 subs away. We're 18 subs away. Delta, 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 Delta. Delta. I've been trying to talk to you, man. Delta. I don't know if you checked your Twitch DMs yet, but you won 1.5k crowns yesterday. So, is there anything you want? Or do you want to think about it a bit? Yes. That's so rigged. It was. I was like, oh my god, on his birthday. By the way, happy birthday again. Oh no, wait, it's not your birthday anymore. 40 minutes ago. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you, Victor, for the 100 bits. Thank you, Lou, for the resub and the 500 bits. Let's fucking go. And yes, guys, everyone go follow Corellia. A rising star in the ESO scene. One of the greatest attitudes towards PvP I've seen in a long, long, long time. Really throwing himself out there, grinding, trying things, learning the game. Love to see it.
You there, halt! There's great danger ahead.
Yeah, take your time, Delta, take your time. Join the hype train, guys. We have 2.5 minutes left. We need 1 sub or 500 bits to go to the next level. We're 18 subs away from adding crowns to the giveaway. We're 7 followers away from adding crowns to the giveaway. We might actually break 2 goals in one stream. Having a great learning curve? He does. He has such a good attitude. Such a good attitude. Willing to learn, willing to ask questions, put himself out there, not afraid to fail, not afraid to die, not afraid to overcome, not afraid to grind. He's it's man. I don't wanna say other people do it wrong, but if we had like hundreds of people like you coming into the game every week or every couple weeks, PvP would be saved. Sijic! Oh my god. Nah, it's the worst. I've never leveled it. I've never leveled Sijic Order. I can't. It's just too boring for me. I rather walk around do nothing. Guys, we have 50 seconds left on the hype train. We need 1 sub to go to level 2, guys. 18 subs for the next goal. Let's fucking go. We do one quest today, make it tolerable. Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. That's what I used to do for the DDF fleet. I did like 1 Dragon Star Arena per day instead of grinding. The hype train is almost over, guys! Are we gonna save it or not? Level 1, 69%! I see what you guys did there. I see what you guys did there. You guys just wanted to end at 69%. I applaud it. I'm all here for it. GG's. GG's, guys. Level 1, 69%. We did it. That's an achievement. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the 500 bits, the resub, and Victor, thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you, Lou and Victor. Wasn't a choice? Oh yeah, I still never leveled it. Oh no, that's a lie. I leveled it to 4 once. For the what's it called? The lie detect thingy. For my gank build at the time. No! It did a bar swap. I was spamming 2. It did a bar swap.
They picked up the ball. We need to get that ball. We got the ball. We need to get that ball. Stop fumbling the ball. Pick up the ball. We got the ball.
That was staying in the wrong place at the wrong time for too long. There's 70 characters that needed to do it 70 times. Yeah, I think Khan. I think Khan done it on all his characters as well. It's just crazy to me. Which like most PvP builds had the channeled acceleration. And a lot of PvPers also use the ult passively on the back bar for the protection buff. I remember that. And just as a oh fuck button as well, the undo shit. Yeah, I never cared. I never cared. Oh my god. That was bad. Yikes.
Aid us. The ball is in ground. Pick up the ball. Only aids us.
Yikes! That's a lot of greens. That's a lot of greens.
Victory is well in hand. Throw them to pieces. They have the ball. The ball is theirs. The ball has been dropped. Get after that ball. We got the ball.
Yikes! Look at all the beamers. Crazy.
Fumbling about. Pick up the ball. The ball belongs to us now. A good round, yes?
Hi guys, let's pick the winners. Oh! No! The YouTube giveaway bugged. Everyone join the YouTube giveaway. It bugged out. What the fuck, man? The other one works. The Twitch one is working. Join the YouTube giveaway again, guys. Type in RP PvP in the YouTube chat. What's that build? The build that I'm using right now? This is my roleplay build for Galadriel. It is Mother Cyanide. On the monster set, Monomyth as a mythic. On the front bar, Oak Fodder for Lothlorien. Mother Cyanide is a shield set. We use the Imperium set on the back bar, which is another shield. So our build is pretty much a lot of offensive power and shields as our defense, because that is like the power of Galadriel. And then the skills, we have Escalating Rune Blades, Tentacular Dread, the Charm, Radiant Glory, Elisa's Dawnbreaker as Bringer of the Light, Healing Soul is a healing skill, Impervious Rune Ward is another shield, the Green Figure, Crooksweevil Armor, and Recuperative Treat. That's not how you say it, but you know what I mean. So that is the build. It's really fun. It's really fun. It's really roleplay. Because our damage is really oppressive and really strong. And then defensively we have the shields. Like, I can show you the shields for a second. Like, look at this. So now we're gonna get hit. So we can stack our shields to like 53k shields in PvE. $54k. We can have our shields for like a split second, and then on like an average it's like 20 something. So that means in PvE we can get like 10k plus shields super easy. With the Ice Death heavy attack, the Mother Cyanide proc, the backbar proc, and Impervious thingy. Hey, do you know if there's a way to gift someone ES on the website? I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I don't think you can. Good luck on the giveaway, everyone on YouTube. Join the YouTube giveaway, guys. 100,000 gold we're gonna pick first. Yeah, you can buy keys on like a key website. Then you could get like either the Steam key or the other key. But from the website itself you cannot gift, I believe. Winged Stefano Stickstico. Isa Rudetta. Good luck on the giveaway, guys. Moim, good luck on the giveaway. Steindach. Good luck on the giveaway. They put a video in Kamo Reacts if you want to continue streaming 8 more minutes. I will watch it, but not on stream. I want to chill. Like I said, I went through a whole fucking roller coaster. Yesterday was so epic and so overwhelmingly cool and nice. And I was like, oh my god, I revamped my enthusiasm in a lot of ways. And then today we had the post, and the post made me like I said earlier, it makes me like hopeful, desperate, unsure, depressed. It gives me all the feelings at the same time. Like, I don't know what to think of it. You make them account on your email by... Yeah, that could probably work as well, yeah, Isa. But yeah. ABC, good luck on the giveaway. Alright, we're gonna pick a winner on YouTube, guys. This is your last chance to join the YouTube giveaway. Type in RP PvP in the YouTube chat for an extra 100,000 gold giveaway. And everyone, remember, this Sunday we have the tournament. If you are participating, make sure to send your build ASAP in the judge channel so we can judge it. The more builds we can judge beforehand, the less stress and strain it will be for me and the other judges for this Sunday, in order to make it smooth. Tomorrow I want to make some big steps towards making some decisions about maybe the length of the duels. Maybe the length of the duels, maybe the rules of the duels. For example, are we going to establish that we all start with 0 ultimate? are we gonna establish that both people can start with their ultimate? Things like that we're gonna decide tomorrow. Alright, the winner on YouTube, 100,000 gold, goes to without ultimate spread emo. Yeah, that's fair. I think so as well. But I wanna like have a conversation about it. We do the duels in the BG house. You could turn them in hazard if it goes long. Yeah, no, I maybe do it in that house, yeah. I want to maybe do it in that house that you're talking about. I don't think I want to use the hazards though. Because it's gonna benefit certain people more than others. Yo, Rudetta and Stefan, thank you so much for the subs on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Check out my YouTube in general, guys. I post some really cool content on there. I make like RP, PvP videos with the whole editing of movie scenes and cool stuff. We have hardcore videos. We have videos of the RP events, fashion contest, funny shorts. So go check out the YouTube in general, guys. And now we're gonna pick a winner in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the winner of the YouTube giveaway is, good luck everyone, 100,000 gold goes to Alex. Congratulations, Alex. Can I have your in-game name and your region, please? Can I have your in-game name and your region, please? Congratulations, Alex. And thank you guys for all joining. Thank you for the subs. Like the stream if you can. Thank you all for tuning in. Exclamation mark winner. The winner is always final. And now let's pick the... There we have it. Ostel alt U noise. Should be able to search out right now. Right now. Oh, is it your character name? Doesn't find it. Oh, alt. Oh my god. I'm an idiot. Congratulations. And now let's pick the winner on Twitch. Who's gonna be a millionaire? We can still unlock the 1.5k crowns. I'm sorry for having the typo in the thingy. I was just lazy. RFE PvP. We're 7 followers away. 18 subs. If there's anyone out there not following yet, if you're lurking, you can be part of something big. And that is unlocking a crown giveaway for everyone in here. Ooh, you push your builds? Nice. I'm gonna have a look. I'm gonna have a look at it. I glanced at it and that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty fucking cool. Alright, we're picking a winner. And thank you, Jaden, it for being so fast with it. Yeah, I think this is from what I see quickly, I think this will be approved. Yeah. I was thinking, wait, hang on. I was thinking, I don't know which hairstyles you have. Yeah, Zuko went to a couple of faces, of course. He went to a couple of faces. Because you can obviously go for this angle. But I don't know if you have it. This angle is pretty cool, I would say. Where is it? So yeah, that is the hair you have now is pretty much like his most common one, for sure. But he also had the this one. I think you can do this one. But he was bald though. He was bald and then had it, right? So it's not entirely the same. He also I think that's it, yeah. Wait, I think at a certain point. Wait, didn't he at a certain point had like full hair and then like a thing on the top? I forgot. I like 5 has to. Ah, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. Wait, which hair? Oh my god, I forgot my own hair. Oh no. I forgot the Galadriel hair. This one. Nice. Nice. Alright. Hmm. No, I haven't logged in on NA yet. I'll try to do it now. My bad. I'm sorry. I also need to give I also need to give auto shine. So I need to give you an auto shine. kill. If you noted. Alright. The winner in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the winner of 1,000,000 gold is... Good luck, everyone. Oh my god. This is crazy. That is actually crazy. That is actually crazy. GG's. Exclamation mark winner. The winner is always final. You don't have to be here for the draw, because I never know when I start the stream. I never know when I end the stream. If you're here at the beginning of the stream, the end of the stream, the middle of the stream, the entirety of the stream, 1 minute of the stream, everyone has the same exact chance of winning. We will DM you and make sure you get the prize. So congratulations, Mr. Ottershine. And now let's look if we have a beautiful person that we might be able to rate. We have Katatonia, Kieran, Ninja Monkey, Aquinos. Or shall we rate Decimus? Decimus is playing Where Wind Meets. What do you guys want to do? You guys want to rate Desi? Yes, no? Oh, no one's answering. I'm just gonna do it then. I'm just gonna do it then. Yeah, seems to be really enjoying the game. So if you have any questions about Where Wind Meets, make sure to ask him. Let's give him a warm welcome, everyone. Don't go anywhere yet. Man, even in Where Wind Meets, Desi is pushing himself. Alright, we're gonna give him guys. We're all gonna give him strength to complete the boss. And you know what a streamer needs for strength. They need a chat to be absolutely exploding with emotes and love and appreciation and follows and subs and primes and biddies. So that's what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna bombard Decimus's chat. We need energy drinks too. Yes. Throw energy drinks at the monitor and hopefully some magic portal will appear. You got this, guys. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for listening to the long yap session about the pseudo article. I'm glad I got it out of my system. I think I said everything I really wanted to say, so it's now on here forever in the ether for people to listen to. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you, Victor, for the 100 bits. Thank you, Lou, for the 500 bits. Thank you for all the support today, guys. I fucking love you. Peace.